Dad, can we please have a turn at the Xbox?
Just a second, Meg. I'm still trying to get the hang of this. Okay, guys, tell me again. Now, which one do I press to shoot now? Damn it. Yeah, crap.
Who's the douchebag who keeps dying?
I'm not a douchebag. I'm new.
Look, if you're no good, why don't you just go hide till the end?
All right, I'll go crouch behind the, Is this a crouch button?
Who dropped the grenade? Idiot! We're gonna play! Moron! You suck!
All right, yeah, I'm an asshole. Fuck you guys. People don't hate me enough because of my review that went up this week. Oh, it's good to be back.
That's right. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's good to be back. Talk Radar 97?
Probably.
97? Yes, I apologize to only Michael MCC827 for whatever the hell I said to him to hurt his feelings in my Splinter Cell review comments.
Okay.
We'll get to that later, maybe. I'm Christopher, indeed.
I'm Michael Raparos.
All right, and we also have
Lizzie Cuevas.
And for the first time, it is what do you call it? The whole shebang. Who do we have?
Tyler Nagata.
Yeah.
The other Tyler.
Yeah, our PC guy.
A.K.A. T-Nag.
He is our other
T-Nag.
Tyler Nagata. And I'm going to tease some stuff because I guess we can't talk about it. Michael, you just got back from a thing.
Yeah, related to gears that are metal and that exists on a handheld system with which some of our listeners may be familiar with.
I'm very excited about that one.
Yeah.
I will walk
you should be
peacefully
excited.
to read your reviews
Yes.
at some point, read your previews somewhere.
I cannot wait to spoil what the title means.
Does it actually?
It does mean something.
Ooh. All right, I can't
It
wait.
does mean something very predictable.
And Brett is not here.
Hi.
All right, sound effects work.
He's in Hawaii.
He's in Hawaii.
I'm jealous.
Why are you
Jealous,
jealous?
I should probably make it clear right now that wasn't a tease. I can't really talk about most of this stuff just yet, but
Yeah.
I will in the future.
Oh, we'll have a bunch of stuff up. What do you think? Ballpark when we have something up.
May 3rd.
May 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
May 3rd. Brett is in Hawaii.
I'm totally jealous because on April 10th they opened a Sanrio Cafe.
What's a Sanrio Cafe?
Oh.
It's where they make cakes and cupcakes that look like Hello Kitty.
That sounds awesome. Can I
Hi.
have one? That's my cute noise.
Hey.
8-bit Big Bird. Hello Kitty cupcakes.
Yeah.
I've lost my train of thought. There's no way I'm going to get back on track. Brett is gone.
Yeah.
Seeing Capcom junk.
And hopefully eating Hello Kitty cupcakes.
I heard him say that whatever has been announced, and it's huge, we can talk about on Tuesday. So check the interwebs, specifically GamesRadar.com on Tuesday. Gulp. Brett is not here, but he will be here in spirit. I'm going to tease this interview Brett pulled off on the fly in the middle of I don't know where. It's loud. But for me, this is very exciting.
As the core element, and I actually told the development team it should feel like the pogo jump from DuckTales. Wow, that's it.
It should feel like the pogo jump from DuckTales. What game could that be? It'll be in the break. But what do we had go up this week that we're very excited about?
Oh, the top 7.
Yes, the top 7 that you wrote. All these buttons are wrong.
Perfect.
See? My whole computer... Alright, I'm still struggling to get my computer back on track. The top 7. And who wrote that? Who?
I did.
Lizzie!
The top 7 classic Xbox Live games we'll miss.
Aw, that's right. Because what's happening? What happened? Today?
No, actually Thursday, April
Thursday.
15th.
April 15th.
Xbox discontinued live support for original Xbox games, so that means no more multiplayer for Halo 2.
Following games we're about to get to. I don't want them to spoil it. I doubt Halo 2's on here. Top 7 Xbox Live games we'll miss. Michael, did you see this article?
Which article?
The top 7 Xbox. Did we leave anything out? Eric wanted me to mention Phantom Dust.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
Nobody
He said
played that game.
He said because it was it had a cult following.
Yeah,
and that's all I know.
A cult consisting of Eric and the guy who does VG Cats.
But
The only two people who ever played Phantom Dust.
Hey, I like VG.
It had to do with a card trading game.
Right now,
which
there's
sounds
somebody
boring
listening.
already.
I played Phantom Dust. Fuck you.
That's all right.
Nobody cares.
We're taking it. Well, that's okay. We can afford to piss off Phantom Dust fans.
All two of them.
All two of them. But are we missing that? Is anybody else going to miss something that wasn't on the top 7?
Burnout 3.
Burnout 3? I did play that, actually. That was terrible.
Oh, fuck you.
Online. I did not like it online.
I didn't
loved
like it
Burnout.
online either,
I love
actually.
Burnout.
Well, yeah, so I guess that doesn't count because I didn't play it online.
Mm-hmm. Fuck me. You flew off the handle there. You calm down, Liz. We're never going to be able to get through this because number 7 is...
Doom 3.
Doom 3. I didn't play it.
You can still play that on the PC, you know.
I played it. It was awesome. With the lights all off, it's really scary.
Yeah, I played it. I did play it on the PC, but that's sort of the bizarre thing about this. Like, this is cutting off. I have grown up. I think we've all grown up in eras where we owned games and we felt like we owned them forever. And when we were younger, we would put in old games all the time. And I don't know. It's weird. Like, this is a crucial feature that's now not a component that's gone forever. But because PC games have never lost their online capabilities.
No, and I think Doom 3 is kind of an interesting title too because that's sort of when you start to see what some PC gamer elitists like to call like the consolification of games
Yeah,
in
that's
general.
true.
The idea that games cost so much to make now, so you've got to make them for multiple platforms, including consoles. So it's the idea that
Doom 3 kicked open those Wonka doors and.
Well, what I remember most about is you always would see Doom 3 on those lists when they would like do a benchmarking test on a PC rig to see it.
I remember that.
This graphics card
Doom 3 was one of those games.
increased the frames per second to 80.
It was one of those games that
76
came with hardware, like when it first came out. Doom 3 was packed in. I don't have a lot of fond multiplayer memories. No one? I really was hoping Mike would have everything here.
My Doom memories kind of die around too.
Yeah, I played it a couple times on PC, and it's just like I remember thinking like this is the game that invented deathmatch, and all it really has is deathmatch.
Well, I don't really want to play capture the flag.
Well, the Xbox version, yeah, I kind of did.
Because I thought there were like more games that were more important.
It was sort of the first one I played.
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah.
In any case, it was the one that popularized it, and I think it invented the term deathmatch.
That seems likely.
Yeah, but you're probably. I think you're right in that the best version was the co-op, which I think was added for the Xbox version.
Oh,
I could be wrong about that.
Where's your consolification now, Tyler, and every other PC gamer out there?
Oh, you got me.
That's an exclusive feature. Okay, we'll move into the game that I do remember very fondly. Number 6. What's that, Lizzie?
Crimson Skies.
Crimson Skies.
High something. What is it? I don't have it.
High Sky. Holy shit.
High Road to Skies.
Crimson Skies, High Road to Revenge.
High Road to Revenge. Jesus. Yeah, I loved Crimson Skies. And I think in talking about this, we were saying games we'll miss and not games we necessarily demand stay online and demand to be remade. I will miss my love of Crimson Skies, but I've moved on. It was just kind of the first arcadey flight combat game online, and it worked. When it worked awesome. But usually it kicked you off, and if you could get into a lobby, you stayed in. And that's why most of the time when I played, I'd have to play in like hour spurts because it would take me 20 to 30 minutes to get in a server without being kicked off. But I loved Crimson Skies. It was the same people who made Dark Void, which is fucking terrible. But the flying element in Dark Void is still pretty good. But did you play Crimson Skies?
I played it recently.
Recently.
There's actually one other person playing it.
Me and you, brother. I feel you. But
not for long. Oh, actually, not anymore.
Not anymore. Not at this point. But Crimson Skies was great because it had, almost in the same way Dark Void did, like this weird alternate history where it's the 1930s and everybody's abandoning cars and, okay, I'll just play this because I am a sucker. You know me, I'm a sucker for anything with a newsreel voice and old music.
This is Aerotone News. Airborne shipping, the new king of commerce. Across all 23 American nations, old-fashioned trains, ships, and trucks are no match for the modern Zeppelin. Shipments have never been faster. Mountains, forests, and rivers, no problem for these luxury liners of the sky. But with modern air shipping comes modern air pirates, the scourge of the skies. Not since the days of wooden ships and iron men have pirates so cursed the world.
Yes, pirates in the skies. Total tailspin.
I love that I can hear the sound of the projector.
I know, isn't that
rolling.
great? It sounds really. It's going to sound really crappy in people's ears right now.
It's a nice touch.
Tyler and I appreciate that. And what the dude will wrap this up. Well, how do you combat pirates in the sky?
But such villainy is answered in force. Government militias and private security companies have responded, raising their own air forces to fight the criminals, to beat the devils at their own game. Score 1 for the good guys.
No.
You're doomed.
Oh, that was from the Doom commercial. I forgot to play that. Yeah, the Crimson Skies. Fucking love Crimson Skies. I didn't even spend that much time with the single player, but it was it had a very cool story and a lot of neat cinematics. Just I love revisionist history when it takes place between the 40s and 60s. I don't care much when it happens. Oh my God, it's 2009 and we're on the moon. Who cares? Love.
Never played it myself. I'll have to take your word for it.
All right. With that, on that note, we will move on to numero 5, which I believe.
Number 5 is Counter-Strike.
Who else played Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike.
What about? Did you?
I know you played
Yeah.
some Counter-Strike.
Which
Well,
one?
I played it on the PC.
Damn straight.
I played a little bit on the Xbox version, and there's still a lot of people playing it, even
Really?
last week. Yeah, they're trying to get their last few hours in.
Wow. I can't even believe
But
that.
but the thing was, like, only one map kept loading.
Dust.
Like there's
Was it-
it was Miami.
Miami. What the,
Really?
Oh, that's one of the
One of the
console
console,
exclusives.
yeah.
Oh,
So.
yeah.
So I almost wished. No, what that game did is I remember. I don't know why. I was looking very forward to Counter-Strike on the Xbox, so I'd been playing it for a year on the PC. And what it did immediately when I played it on console, it taught me the difference between PC resolution and television resolution, because that was the first thing to go. Frame rate went to shit, and it looked like ass. It looked very grainy. It looked like I was playing with glaucoma. Bad stuff.
But for people who never played it on the PC, they were
For
like,
free.
"Wow, it's so cool!
It is. It was at that point. It was still
I could
balanced
be one
enough.
of them."
Another interesting note about that game is it pretty much started the whole esports industry in the West.
Did it really?
Yeah, Counter-Strike. That was the big esports game. That was the biggest esports
Esports.
for a Western
Oh, I see what you're
audience.
saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was the show on G4? Arena, I think.
It was Arena.
It was always playing
Mhm.
like Counter-Strike and Unreal Tournament matches.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
I think the problem there is that they shot the show.
Fatality, complexity, all those guys whose faces you see plastered
Oh, yeah, I
all over,
remember, yeah.
really overpriced.
Did Complexity also spell his name with a 1?
I hope
was
so.
it Complex 1 T?
I think he interchanged the upper and lowercase in his
Oh,
hand.
sticky
that's-
caps.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
always
It's really
That's
smart.
so what
Sign of
97,
a-
98.
sign of a fearsome warrior.
Very, yeah.
No,
very
it's the sign of a man who's prepared for the coming of robots. It's like CAPTCHA. They won't be able to read your name off an extermination list if it has ones and a kitty cat turned sideways.
But if you
should have
are-
been funnier.
It'll just be like, bring me the human known as beep boop error.
Beep beep. What is love? Blow up. Explode.
Does not compute. Does not compute.
But if you
Fuck this metaphor.
Are you bailing on that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Mid-sentence.
But if you are a Counter-Strike fan, I would like to recommend a book to you called Game Boys that
yeah.
sort of follows the rise of the esports industry in the States, which has a lot to do with Counter-Strike. And it's sort of like the book version of Kings of Kong.
I wonder how many people have picked up that book and said, this isn't about Game Boys.
People who know me know I'm a Counter-Strike fan. I wish to God one of you guys could do this, because it's one of the few games you can quiz me, and I hate gun. I'm not a gun nut.
What's your favorite mod?
What's my favorite mod?
Yeah.
Well, Natural Selection I'm mentioning just because that trailer came out for the second one this week.
Oh, that's right.
That's pretty
right.
dope. For Counter-Strike mod? Oh, the Warcraft 3 mod.
Oh, I remember
The
you
Warcraft 3
telling me
mod
about
is
that.
awesome, or it was awesome a long time ago, just where you could choose your class, and then you could level up. You could level up in Counter-Strike. It's awesome, way before Call of Duty. But I can tell you every single name. I can tell you the name of a gun just by the sound of it, because This is one
You
of
should
the.
have prepared a sound quiz for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a
You
lot
would
of
have
fun.
sounded so smart with the sound quiz that you
That
did
would have been
with
a lot
your-
of fun. No, I'll show something that's really cool at the end. When we close out the break, you hear some cool Counter-Strike gun noises because I know anybody who's with me can remember this. That's Counter-Strike Death.
Ugh.
And here is what the joke I made for my Counter-Strike playing friends immediately following September 11th.
Terrorists win.
It was tasteless then.
Oh.
It's tasteless now, but it was way more tasteless back then. So
Too soon. It's too soon.
Too soon. It's
Never
almost-
forget.
You never.
I've already forgotten. No, I've already forgotten.
Look, we have to defuse this bomb or else the terrorists win.
Terrorists win.
No, that's not terrorist. Number 4, what?
Number 4.
Conker's Live and Reloaded.
That's a naughty game.
It is a naughty game.
I played the N64 version with my friend.
This one made me mad because it's less naughty.
It is less naughty. It's also the controls aged really badly.
Yes.
They didn't really bother updating them in any way.
The controls aged very badly, maybe, but it was originally announced as Conker's Live and Uncut, and then
No, it was very cut.
it was extremely cut.
It was more
bleeped.
cut.
It was if you ever see that shit video of I made what was
I
it?
remember that.
The gaming's most important
The
party
fartiest.
butts.
Yeah, the party.
Yeah, it's the
That's
bleep.
you playing to your
It's
strengths.
the bleep.
A really profound piece.
And I
in your element.
I looked up some information. I can't really fathom. Doesn't it seem like it should have been the other way around? Why is the the Nintendo version the uncensored one?
It absolutely should have been the other way around.
And especially when it was years fucking later. But that is the case. You actually was able to load this up and play a live
A
game.
lot of people are still playing it. We're still playing it. Sorry.
Are still playing it?
They were.
when you're hearing this. They are when we're recording this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. There were a lot. It was really easy to find a deathmatch game type.
Wow.
Really easy, and it was really hard to play.
Was it?
It was really hard to play.
I remember not liking it immediately.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's really hard to get used to at first. Like the first few moments I was playing it, I just died automatically, and I had to like try every single class until I got something that worked.
If
for
it makes
me.
you feel any better, it was just as difficult when the game was brand new.
Yes.
Just because it's, I think it's really interesting what they did with it, and I really like the amount of work that they put into it. But yeah, my chief memory of that game is the second I leave like the main base that you start in, pow, head
Yeah.
explodes, sniper kills me every fucking time.
For me, it was everyone was really good at the ninja blade thing where they chopped my head off. It happened way too many times.
Oh yeah, I did that a lot too.
Got me. That was just at the point when I realized, wait a minute, some of this multiplayer isn't very well thought out on this here Xbox Live.
That's like the only way I did well. Is just like running up to people and chopping their heads off.
That's because it was weird. I was watching gameplay of it today, and there's these little these little teddy bears that take like an entire 4 clips of ammo before they die. Like no one died immediately. It wasn't like a normal shooter. It was balanced out to give the unexperienced a little more fun with it. It just looked bizarre. And I don't know if it's because I didn't. What year was that, Lizzie? Do you remember? 04, 05?
It's
It was
on the-
1990X.
There we go. See, this is what happens when we don't have Brett Elston.
Fuck
It
him.
was 2000.
Hawaii shit.
According to your article, Lizzie, it was 2005,
Hey, there you go.
which makes sense.
Good job, past Lizzie.
Yeah, it came out like a few months before the 360 hit. So
Yeah.
didn't really have much
Oh
of a
yeah, it
chance.
did. And I didn't remember. I guess we didn't have YouTube, but I never saw the Conker's Live and Reloaded trailer. So I found that thing, and the game has a lot of great movie references. It opens up immediately with the Clockwork Orange reference. Awesome. And I'd never seen the trailer. You shout out when you figure out what they're referencing.
3 billion squirrels' lives ended one night in the year 2000.
I think I've got it.
All right, wait for it.
Survivors lived only to face a new night. It wasn't a war against the machines. It was a war against the Teddies.
Teddies. What is it? Anybody? Nothing? Great.
Terminator?
I mean, yes. Hold on. So all my buttons are mixed around. Well,
Perfect.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Terminator, and just watching the trailer gave me an idea for a new article. And this is the end of that, like the rest of that clip.
Resistance needed a hero. What they got was a fearless, courageous, unrelenting warrior. I'm back.
Okay. Obviously, the best song for Conkers is Ace of Spades.
Hell yeah.
What is the most overused licensed songs in gaming? Ooh. Yeah. I'm thinking Wolf Mother, Woman,
good one.
and Dragula, and Ace of Spades. Article written
There you go.
in audio form.
I'll just agree with you.
Yes, thanks you guys for engaging me with that. Number 3.
Splinter Cell Chaos Theory.
I have been informed that I'm not allowed to talk anymore about Splinter Cell. Apparently, people cry in forums.
Then when does that ever stop you?
Yeah, I guess so. Anybody else play this? Because I sure didn't.
I haven't.
I haven't.
Anybody?
My friends did. I watched my friends play it. I played a little bit of the Spies and Mercs modes. I mean, that was kind of cool. Was that the one that involved the microphone?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you could like. Michael knows about that. You told me about that.
Yeah, because I talked to Ryan McCaffrey about it. But yeah, it's because I talked to Ryan McCaffrey about it. But yeah, it's I had the game. I always wanted to play it. I somehow never got around to it, even though I heard glowing praise from every side. I just never bothered. But it had some really cool ideas in that, like even during just the co-op play, it monitored how loudly you and your partner were talking to each other, and that if you and I think Manhunt did this a little bit too, in that if you talk to each other quietly, the guards wouldn't detect you, but then you could say just yell into your microphone, and they'd go over to where they heard the sound come from, and then while they were doing that, your partner could sneak around behind and execute them. And if you were playing a Mercs versus Spies match, when your partner executed the Merc, he could whisper into their ear.
Whisper like 2
the
seconds
headset.
of dialogue into their ear before they die.
How creepy would that be
Yeah.
with a stranger?
Ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Ugh. Yeah.
According to Major Nelson's blog,
your corpse.
Wasn't necessarily Splinter Cell.
according to Major Nelson's blog, it's still one of the top original Xbox Lives being played.
I don't
At
doubt it.
least for the last few weeks before it ended. But I tried playing it last week and I couldn't find any in games.
I saw.
That's how stealthy it is.
We saw that. Grand Theft Auto was beating out Left 4 Dead on Xbox Live in terms of Xbox Live play, and I can't ever see anybody in the servers when I play a Grand Theft Auto online game. So I think the numbers of people playing on there are very, very small. Very small. I think the top 3, Halo, Modern Warfare, and Battlefield right now have tons of people in them.
Well,
Everything
it
else
just drops down.
Yeah, I think it drops so
Right.
steeply. And that's all I'm allowed to say about Splinter Cell because people didn't like my review. Am I wrong in saying
So by people, who do you mean exactly?
Splinter Cell fans, who I intentionally pissed off? But I always, we'll just talk about that when we talk about new
Well, if it
releases.
was intentional, then you don't really have grounds to
It
complain.
is, but it's still hurting my feelings.
Such a girl.
Up.
Don't be such a girl.
Star Wars Battlefront.
Ooh,
What, you got an experience with Star Wars Battlefront? 2?
that
2.
That game.
That game what?
I had that game on
man.
on the PlayStation 2, and I enjoyed it so much, but I hated the matchmaking system with the free PlayStation 2 online, and I had been hearing about this whole Xbox Live thing. I bought an Xbox specifically and another copy of Battlefront 2
wow.
so I could play that game and have a quicker less lag, find matches easier. It was so much fun. So much fun. Even though it wasn't a great game, it was good enough and it was Star Wars.
It wasn't. It was a very, very cool Star Wars game.
And there was an exploit that I loved, and I love using exploits.
What was the exploit, sweetie?
The exploit is, most people, they pick the general soldier class character with the,
course.
with the blaster
The grunts.
rifle. Or, lots of people pick the sniper. They like to hang back, Some people like to rush for the vehicles, all that usual stuff. But the one class you needed to pick every single time to use this exploit was a specialist with the rocket launcher who could also lay down landmines. And what you would do is you would just bum rush towards like groups of players and drop landmines on top of their heads, send them all flying. Your kill count goes up to the roof. You score all the points, and then you get to spawn as the Jedi.
We're all fight against grenade spammers here. And Tyler.
Well, this is landmine spamming.
So it is completely. Was this the version that had the demo came on the Star Wars trilogy DVDs?
Ooh.
And that was like that still isn't utilized enough. Like put a fucking game demo on a movie that's going to sell a shitload. District 9 did it with God of War.
Yep.
And that was like the only place you could get it without pre-ordering the game.
Was it that one or was it that other Stormtrooper themed shooter? You know which one
that did come out right around the time. I know it did.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Republic Commando.
That one, yeah,
I
that's
love that game. There needed to be more of that game.
Who made that game?
It was LucasArts.
Was it LucasArts?
Yeah.
Okay,
but it's one of those things where it's like, it kind of presented a different take on the whole Star Wars universe, and nobody paid attention to it.
Well, you did.
I don't think it sold well.
And now dozens of people listening are paying attention to you. You see how this works, Circle of Life. Circle of Life.
Dozens of the hundreds of people listening just paid attention.
This was the game I was playing right when my original Xbox went, when it said goodbye. Thank you, Lizzie. That was a genuine. right when the disk drive would stop reading games, and I just have to sit there, and I'd even try and pathetically, because I was having so much fun with it, I would try and spin the disk and then shut the drive real fast to get it going because I could see it was having trouble, the poor disk drive.
Oh, you'll try anything when you have got a hardware error like that.
Took it out, cleaned it up, voided my warranty, still didn't work, and I never played that Xbox again. Boo-hoo, and then I got a 360.
It just feels like Xbox, the original Xbox, even though it was later on followed by the 360, it was just a sad death for it. I remember I was working at a GameStop at the time when they started phasing out the Xboxes. I was like, oh, we're not selling Xbox anymore. Now they're all used systems. It's like, okay, now we're not selling Xbox games anymore. Now make all the new games used games. So basically, we had to.
Really?
Yep.
They just flipped them like that?
Yep, flipped them like that.
Oh, because if they didn't, they'd be like, what, where they void the inventory and it's not worth anything?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, very shady. Lizzie Cuevas calling out the big wigs. Good for it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't want to work at GameStop again in any capacity, except that those managers are.
And now there's only one GameStop in our area that sells Xbox games still, or one or two. They're all used.
Back in Florida, there's one. It's called an EB Games.
Really? Those are still around?
It was different from Electronic. You know what? Maybe it is. It
definitely
was when I left.
Into GameStop.
I thought so, but it wasn't Electronics Boutique. It was EB Games, and it was made separately to sell older and more classic games. It sort of specialized in that. Yeah.
Interesting.
So they carried a lot of crap. Hi, everybody back there in Tallahassee. We should probably get into number ones. Where are my sounds?
I'm very excited about number one.
Are you? Hold on. Wait, don't get too excited. Stop it, guys. I have to find. No, guys.
Can't contain boner.
Number one.
Jesus. That was bad.
Nice.
Number one is Squat.
Oh, Halo 2.
That it is. Lizzie Cuevas, you are correct. It's really loud. Halo 2, which you just put together our Halo 2 funeral.
Yep.
Yeah, it was very sad. And you also read the commercial spot.
Oh God.
That was awesome. I don't have it. Let me see if I can find it. Because you here. How does this go?
I never heard the finished one.
You didn't?
No. Hello, everyone. Games Radar's Lizzie Cuevas here. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but Microsoft's discontinuing all original Xbox Live games on April 15th.
Made me sad.
Join us in honoring the memories by attending our Halo Xbox Live funeral on Monday, April 12th at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's so sad.
Skipping ahead of the best part. Oh, yeah. Lizzie crying on command. Were those real tears?
Oh, yeah.
You have a lot of experience with Halo 2.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Tons.
Well, this is probably what I'll get the most shit for. It's like, oh, you haven't played every single video game out there. But it's like, that was the first shooter I played.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my friend introduced me to that game. And I loved it so much that I ended up buying the game first before I even bought an Xbox.
Because you didn't know, did you? You didn't know what system it played on?
Shut up.
You were
I
gonna
knew
put it in
what
your-
system it played
you
on.
put it in your Walkman.
Tried to play it on your DVD player.
Why is it not working? But
Also, I don't have a controller.
how do you change the Y-axis on this DVD remote? But yeah, that's why I bought an Xbox. And then after that, it was just all the other shooters came after.
Yeah, but you played this one a lot,
Oh yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, because you came in one time. Have you ever seen that teabagging video? That's like all Lizzie playing and legitimately beating my ass. Like, no, Lizzie, let me stand.
Is that what it sounds like
kill.
when
That was-
balls go in your mouth?
That's not what balls were. That was supposed to be gunshots. This is what it sounds like when balls go. God damn it! All right, new soundboard coming at you. Halo
You're not
2.
doing well with those sounds.
I know. I lost my computer. What can I say?
I have received a request to bring back the gong.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. The gong is a little racist. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe.
Yeah, so Monday.
This is
still
requested
think
by an
we
Asian.
We should bring it back, but only use it for racist things that aren't Asian.
So what about English stuff?
No.
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 All right. All right. Michael ruined everything. Everything we had planned.
Fine, do it. I don't care.
All right,
Do I
that's
run
the
this
spirit.
podcast?
That's
No.
the spirit. That's the spirit. We should just go into
I'm your
break.
token Asian tonight. You can
Oh yeah,
say
we can do
whatever
whatever
you
you want.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Hello, guys.
Oh my god, I wish I had that loaded up.
For the rest of this podcast, it is officially okay to say hello.
A roll.
More green tea, please.
Get it all out.
Oh, sorry. Please.
Prees. Get your preeses and your heroes out.
We are gonna go to an epic break, and I'm gonna play the interview Brett did with the mystery developer of Mystery Game.
Wait.
What?
So we're not talking about Halo 2 anymore?
Do you want to keep talking about Halo 2?
No, I just love Master Chief.
What's your favorite weapon?
My favorite. Oh, okay. I suck at battle rifles still,
Okay.
and the sniper rifle. I hate that, but I do really well with the SMG and pistol combo.
I love the pistol.
Oh yeah.
Why can't I zoom on anything but the pistol? I played Halo 2 for the first. That was like the first Halo game I played in like a year. And the first one I played that wasn't 3 in like 3 or 4 years, and I miss my scope, my zoomable pistol.
They brought that back in 3 though, right?
Did they? Was it not in
I
2
don't
at
know.
all?
Did they?
And how many? I was wondering. Not all the maps. A couple of maps are available on 3.
Oh, they changed. They remade Zanzibar into Last Resort.
Okay. Is that the Mythic
And-
collection?
I don't know.
I don't know. There's like the heroic and the legendary and
I
mythic.
thought it came with it.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I haven't played Halo 3 in so long.
There's so many new games that have come out between now and Halo 3, and we'll talk about those new releases in a second. In the breaks, you'll be able to hear the mystery developer interview, and just to announce a certain game, I'm going to play a certain clip in full this time about a certain princess, certain bubblegum,
Okay.
certain robot.
Okay.
And after that, new releases, Gears of War 3 information, yay. Scandals and game help. And quit yawning.
Gears of Snore.
Damn it!
Oh.
Hi, this is Ryan McCaffrey from the official Xbox magazine's KOXM Radio. You're listening to Talk Radar.
Hey, we're at Games Radar. We're here at Konami's Gamer Night. We're taking a look at a bunch of different games, and right now we're taking a look at Rocket Knight from PSN, and we're talking to Tommy, the producer. So what are you guys demoing here tonight?
Well, this is Rocket Knight. We've got a couple levels people can play. For the beginning half of the game, basically.
It seems like you got quite a bit. It seems like it's pretty far along at this point, I imagine. So why, was there a reason why... He's helping. He's helping somebody learn how to play a 2D game.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. So what was the reasoning for bringing back Rocket Knight now? Like I'm a fan of the original for sure, but it's been, like they said, about 15 years.
Right. Well, I was a big fan of the original, and when I came to Konami, I had my big dreams. Of,
right.
You know, I want to revive Contra, make a cool Silent Hill on the Wii, and then revive Rocket Knight. And I've actually gotten lucky enough to do all those things.
Yeah, exactly.
But Rocket Knight was actually one of the first things I pitched, just because I was a big fan and it hadn't been around for 15 years.
What were those initial pitches? Were they kind of like, shut up?
Some of them were a little like Rocket Who, you know, and I had to sort of re-educate everyone.
So why do you think... do you think endears that character in this game, like to the people who did play it? Like, obviously the jetpack was a big part of it. The idea of like mobility and stuff like that. Is there anything new to this one that get a new angle, or is it kind of the same gameplay?
Well, I think the most endearing quality is that the character is just like a sincere. He doesn't have Sonic's attitude.
Right.
He's just a sincere, cute, but cool armored knight with a rocket pack. And obviously the rocket pack's awesome. The biggest change I wanted to make was sort of to put the rocket pack in the forefront. The guys in charge, once I finally got through and said, here's a pitch, I really like it, and they said, okay, we really like this one. They said, you have to give Sparkster an identity, because, you know, we've played countless Mario games, a whole bunch of Sonic games. We've only played 3 Rocket Knight games, so what was he missing that they have? And so I really wanted to center on that rocket. Obviously, that's the core of his identity. But I went back and I played the original games, and when you use the rocket in the original games, you die a lot.
You die and you kind of would fall and were immobile for a brief period.
Right. Yeah. It's really cool, and the segments they set up to use it are really cool. Yeah. But everywhere else just kind of punishes you for using this thing that should be fun. And so I wanted to find a way to use that as the core element, and I actually told the development team at Climax it should feel like the pogo jump from DuckTales.
Wow, that's
where you can play DuckTales without bouncing all over the entire game, but I wouldn't want to, and I've never seen anyone do it. So if the rocket pack can feel as integral as that little pogo jump, then I've done my job.
I feel like we're on the exact same wavelength because you made a DuckTales pogo jump reference. It looked like you had 2D levels like traditional run around, but there's also kind of 2D shooter. The gameplay kind of switches up a bit.
Right. The original game did have the platform stages and the shooter stages, which are like Gradius. But they were actually only a small part of some of the stages. And so I played the sequels, the Sparkster games, and they don't really have shooter segments. The Super Nintendo one has one. And so I really wanted to bring those back. And luckily, Climax prototyped it. We were kind of thinking, this will be a fun diversion from the platform stages. But it's actually, the shooting stages are really fun as well. And so we made sure to put in some cool 3D camera effects to keep those modern. But they're definitely hardcore 2D Gradius shooter levels that you want.
When does it come out?
It's scheduled for May. And we'll hit May.
And then I guess the last question I had in my mind was how much, when you were in your pitching stage, how much of it was like Mega Man 9 and 10 coming back? Well, were they kind of like, hey, this is something people want?
Funnily enough, I was pitching these. Again, I've been at Konami for a number of years, so long before Mega Man 9, and this actually got approved right before Mega Man 9, and I was like, see, this is what I've been trying to tell you.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that it finally happened.
Me too.
It's definitely one of those franchises I was like, well, they'll never make it up. But I'm glad that Xbox Live and PSN have been a way to kind of get that out.
Yeah. The cool thing about Rocket Knight is the old games. No one's ever said anything bad about it. If you go on the internet and you search, there's not a negative word about Rocket Knight until we announce this and everyone's skeptical. So hopefully once everyone's played this game, we can go back to Sparkster being the most beloved mascot character on the internet.
Of course. All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks.
Talk Radar. This show am good.
Princess Rabbit Bubblegum!
You are the only hope we have. Save your dead ninja parents' souls. Team up with a moody, angst-ridden, overly effeminate, androgynous, sword-wielding teen boy. Defeat the alien armada. Loop animation a lot to save production costs.
Just like last time?
Yes, only this time, futurist Tokyo is not under threat from the forces of darkness.
It's not?
No! It's under the threat from the forces of evil. Now, trust me when I say this. I'm a total expert in this area. The forces of evil just can't stand the forces of darkness.
They can't?
No! Please, one is East Coast, the other is West Coast. I mean, if you listen to the way that they sound, it's completely different. One doesn't even use instruments in the tracks. The other one is all like looping and like... You know, like that stuff. They tried group therapy and everything, but it hasn't worked out. Let's head to the next scene because I'm talking nonsense again.
Oh, too horny to fight crime. Why do I have to say that line in every film? This is terrible.
Merchandising.
Oh, okay. That sounds artistic.
Oh, excuse me.
What's wrong with you? Are you blind?
What, yes.
I'm so sorry, me and my big mouth.
My sight was taken from me by the shogun of Teppanyaki. It was this terrible hibachi accident. The onion volcano was too powerful, and my parents were burned alive. I'm a blind samurai. I'm unable to love.
You're not exactly a samurai.
Yes, I am.
Well, then you picked out the wrong costume.
Shut up. This outfit is easy to make into a plastic doll.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to be a ninja, really, but, your parents are ninjas, and, they dead, which is, even better. So, they made me into, this goddamn samurai,
Yeah? Well, I'm a sex fantasy for creeps.
Oh, that sucks.
Tell me about it. Anyway.
You want to hear something that sucks, okay? The last thing I saw was a man flipping shrimp tails into his hat. Imagine that, okay? Get your mind around that. Flipping shrimp like on a cruise ship. Forever. For eternity.
Terrible. What a strange way to go blind. Well, at least he won't be hard to find. I could help you get revenge on the shrimp tosser who took your sight.
But it won't be easy. He has restaurants at strip malls across the world. What's your quest?
Visit the graveyard.
I have to visit the graveyard.
And pick up a carton of Redwood Lights on your way home. Remember, lights, not the Mentos. I am jonesing.
Princess Rabbit Bubblegum!
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast? Yeah!
Me. I am the great mighty Pooh, and I am going to throw my shit at you. A huge supply of teach comes from my chocolate starfish. How about some scat, you little twat?
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. I am so not looking forward to this part. Because this is the part Tyler Nagata, who's never listened to our show.
I've listened to parts of your show.
All right. We talk about you a lot.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, a lot of times. New releases this week. Sam and Max, Devil's Playground, Episode 1, The Penal Playground. What? I wrote that down. I don't know if that's right.
Playground.
The Penal Playground. Sam and Max, Michael, still care?
Kinda.
I think they're fucking charming.
Yeah, they are.
And this one's coming to PS3, immediately.
So you get trophies.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Is that mandatory for every game now?
Pretty
I hope
much,
so.
Yeah.
Speaking of... Oh, I want to go to that in a second. Final Fight, Double Impact. I want to play that, but I haven't actually had the chance yet at all. I haven't even seen it. I've only seen one trailer.
I haven't either. I want to know though, why does it seem like that game is just somehow cosmically tied to Magic Sword? I swear this isn't the first time they've released together.
Magic? What's Magic Sword?
Magic Sword is the game that's the double part of the Impact.
Oh. Well, you're probably the Capcom Classics collections they've released a billion times.
That old side scroller
that
old side scroller that just has a huge cult following.
Yes, you say you're losing your voice.
little bit.
Were you screaming at the Metal Gear?
No, I'm just. I think I'm just phlegmier than usual.
All right.
Hot.
Also, Michael, PlayStation editor. Also this week, GTA 4 Liberty City Stories comes to PS3 finally.
That's true.
Downloadable and retail.
What? I'm married. I don't have to be attractive to anybody.
What does that mean for me? That doesn't really excuse the way I dress.
No.
You're doing okay right now.
Thank you,
Our rock shirt.
Rock shirt.
Some Nikes.
Nice little gut.
Yeah.
I'm quickly running out of clothes that fit me and my ever-growing fatness.
Doesn't that
Can we
suck?
talk about your pants with an elastic waistband?
Yeah.
Yes!
So before I started working at Games Radar, I used to work for this other newsletter called Pharmacist Letter. PharmacistLetter.com. You can go there right now. And I used to bike to work every day, and believe it or not, I was somewhat trim.
Oh, what are you talking about? You look fine. You look totally slender now.
Now I'm working Games Radar. I'm eating burritos every day for lunch. I'm eating horrible food for dinner.
There was one week where we
just...
ate fast food every single day.
Yeah. I think there might have been a day where we had McDonald's breakfast and then McDonald's lunch together one
and
day.
then I went to McDonald's after that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you taught me on
Yeah.
that. But anyhow, now I work here and you know, I'm finding that my pants aren't fitting me, my shirts aren't fitting me, and I keep thinking I'm gonna get in shape. I'm gonna healthy myself up, you know. I want to wear that Aloha shirt again that I have, you know. That was a classic print. Nothing fits me anymore, so I ordered a bunch of pants, Dickies pants online, which is about the fattest thing. I couldn't even be bothered to go to this walk.
With an elastic waistband?
Well, it's got you know, it's right here, you know. It's got a little bit of stretchiness to it, you know. So
no, they're like formal. They're like formal sweatpants.
They're like they look like khakis on the outside, but if you look
it
at
is
the
deceptive.
if you look at the actual band, you can see a little bit of elastic there, so there's room to grow. But the unfortunate thing is these are a little bit too big.
Do you want to give
So
them away?
now I'm, you know, I went from having.
Do you want to give them away in like a contest or something?
No, because I need these. These are like
sure?
This is like one of 3 pairs of pants I own.
All right. We're not sure. 50% chance win Tyler Nagata's pregnancy pants coming soon.
It's embarrassing. You saw my WoW pants.
No, I haven't seen your WoW pants.
Remember when you were staying?
I've definitely seen other people's WoW pants though.
I remember there was when you were staying over at my old apartment for a little
hard times.
While.
Story about that in podcast 20.
I told you I confided in you about my WoW pants.
And I never revealed
which
it.
is my embarrassing
What's
you know, drawstring pants, you know, the ones that you like tie together. It's like got that built-in string belt.
The one with the hole in the taint.
Yeah, it's got all the stains all over it from like it's just a horrible, ugly thing that I wear when I'm only in the house, you know, by myself in my living in my own shame.
I will say hot. Say hot.
Yeah.
Well, that about wraps up our GTA Liberty City conversation. And we have to go into Splinter Cell Conviction.
Are you allowed to talk about that one?
I'm allowed to talk about it, but only because I was apparently mean. Was I mean in the forums?
No, I think you were.
Or mean in the comments of the article, because a lot of people were mad at me. And Tyler, thank you for getting Buttercup to come in there and straighten everything out. I really appreciate that. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Buttercup has stuff to say, always.
I should say that I don't dislike Splinter Cell. I played the original one, I liked it, but I do feel, and I'm pretty sure Ubisoft agrees with me, that the old Splinter Cell formula was pretty dated. It came about at a time 3D gaming still finding its legs. Ooh, look what we can do with lighting. It was a lot for me. Like the newer games, like this is a lot of like sitting in the shadows and waiting for a guy to walk by in a line. That's not that exciting. But what Splinter Cell always does well is has incredibly impressive visuals and incredibly impressive AI. And I didn't feel like those. That wasn't new ground forged in Conviction. What they did was focus on streamlining the presentation, which is awesome because the story. Like I don't care about Sam Fisher. Like I didn't think I did until I played this one. The story was amazing. It was told very well. That projecting stuff on walls streamlines things a great deal. The interrogation scenes, awesome at first. Once you realize every guy you talk to, you will choke wait for him to speak, refuse to answer your question, a button will come up, and you'll slam him into something. And that'll happen 3 times, about 7 times. And that got a lot less exciting. But Splinter, and I feel like, what did I say? I think a lot of people said, and I do agree that the review may have read like a 5 or a 6.
I wouldn't say so.
No?
I mean, you really liked the multiplayer.
I did really, but I just didn't get to play that much of it, and I played the single player first. Which...
That animated GIF may have made it seem like
Yes,
it read
yeah.
like 5 or 6 before you even read the first word
Of him
the first
smacking
paragraph.
Grim. I'm glad that I did that, and I gave no context to it, because that would have been a spoiler. Why is he hitting? Why is Sam Fisher hitting Grim? Look for my beautiful GIF in the review. But most of it, and I'm glad I can say this here, is because, especially on this show, I've done nothing but hype up Splinter Cell Conviction. As I called it my most anticipated game of the year. I wanted to play it very badly, couldn't wait to play it, and I was tremendously disappointed.
Oh.
Although I hear the multiplayer is good.
The multiplayer is good, but it was like
From having read your review.
Do you know how I had to do that? Like I had to talk to people who did play the multiplayer, and then play the multiplayer split screen, which I fucking hate, with somebody for a limited amount of time.
Oh, I see.
And I definitely wanted to play more of it, because like I think we all saw Splinter Cell Conviction, like, oh man, he's running around window ledges and hanging off of pipes,
right?
Moving really quickly, looks like a badass. That most of that disappears in like halfway through the game, and you're just fighting through corridors, and like something Fisher's always been able to do is shoot out lights. Darkness is he works in the darkness, he lives in the darkness, and then there's just rooms that are lit with no lights, and you'll see a light and put your gun on it, and it'll just have a little X. What's the fucking point? Like, so it was just him trying to find cover in hallways with enemies that had great AI, and then eventually just became too hard. Like, not. That's a poor way of putting it. People call me out on that. Like, it's too hard for you, you fucking pussy. Like, no, it's not that it's too hard for me. It's just that like all I can do is walk around cover, and if I'm seen, I just backtrack 20 feet, and they won't come after me. And that's just a little. You see the ghost image thing. Like, if they spot you, it leaves a little ghost image, and then the AI is really impressive. And then you have some moron looking around a ghost. You're a guard. You should probably look in more than the last spot you saw me, and that just makes me have to run back to another level. And I take cover, and I see a guy, and I headshot him. All of a sudden, every guy in the room is alerted to the fact that I headshotted a guy in the darkness with a silencer. And it's just me.
When just a moment ago, just walking away with lit.
And Fisher's not great with a gun, so it's just like 6 guys coming at me when I'm behind a fucking desk, and in a corridor. It wasn't that fun for me at all. It wasn't.
So you're saying it just kind of takes the fun out of you can't really do stealth kills with a gun.
Yeah, I mean, of course you still can, but like that's part of the AI. It's like it's not really.
You just said you can't. I mean,
no, I'm not saying you can't, but that's a majority of the time you can't. I can't really see what will detect them and what won't. And we'll be in a darkened room, and they'll just have flashlights. Some guys taken out with a headshot. They know where I am, and it's not hard to get away, but it's just boring. Like headshot, now I move again. Headshot, now I move again. Headshot, now I move again. And I think that's people are fans were rightfully pissed because it's a little less of the stealth than what they were expecting. And for me, it wasn't enough action as I was expecting. So I think we're all allowed to be disappointed.
Just from reading reactions to the reviews that I've seen, like in comments and on Metacritic and whatnot, it seems like the Splinter Cell purists are a little...
They're mad. There's a bunch of 0 scores on user scores on Metacritic.
And there's something about like realistic games that make it harder to forgive when they do, quote unquote gamey things. Like what you were just talking about when you walk away and all of a sudden everything is fine because you walked out of the radius of whatever AI.
That's true. And it's like be a straight up action game. And there's a flashback level that's just the Gulf War in broad daylight. That's just an action game. And that wasn't that fun. There's plenty of other better ways to do that.
Wasn't that kind of a big deal with Double Agent, where they were talking about like there are going to be levels in broad daylight, and you're going to have to find ways to be stealthy outside?
Nope, not at all. There are a few levels in broad daylight. You have no reason to be stealthy. You have reasons to take cover, and in the past, and the ones that take place in the present, they're just what do you call those crescendo moments where Modern Warfare, where you do one thing in one level and you'll never do it again. You chase after a dude. But yeah, I don't know, I was really disappointed. It's a really short single player mission. Story, fantastic. Like I'm not up to date. and immediately I found all the characters compelling and their situation compelling. I'll move on from Splinter Cell Conviction. I'll play all of you dumbasses in a game of co-op if that'll make you happy, because I really like that. That was where there's two people working together, and there's these giant rooms with all of these different situations and choice, which I felt completely disappeared for most of the game. But this one was really great, where you're working with a friend, and I was sitting in the same room with Joe McNeely, and we were just like, all right, you go over there. And did you see the mark and execute moments where you're behind cover? It's not dissimilar to something in Batman. You're behind cover, you mark a couple guys. You can have up to 4 or 5 eventually when you upgrade your guns. Boom, this guy, boom, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And you hit one button, and you burst out of cover and just without hitting any buttons. It's a reward you get from taking out someone hand-to-hand, which is pretty fucking hard.
Very well explained visually in your super review.
Was it? Okay, good.
It was.
Okay, Eric told me it wasn't.
I could picture it, thanks to the picture. That I'm sure
and when you do that,
crafted with care in Photoshop.
When you do that with another person in co-op, you can both hit the button at the same time, and I don't know, it's really weird. You can share mark and executes. Very nice, very nice. I guess I'll stop talking about this.
I've never been.
I'll take your silence.
The Tom Clancy. The Tom Clancy. Oh.
There's something about Tom Clancy that.
I mean, you don't see Stephen King's blah blah blah. You know,
a little bit. It almost seems like, are you really an espionage fanboy?
It's one of those things where it's like he actually hasn't been directly involved in any of the games for years. They just pay a fee to have his name on things.
And I've never once, not even in that article, do I refer to it as Tom Clancy Splinter Cell. Mm-hmm. That's a waste of words.
Yeah, it seems kind of anachronistic to tie his name to.
Yeah.
It's like Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy.
Didn't that guy just sort of cease to exist?
The Jack Ryan guy?
Yeah.
All right, Splinter Cell Conviction. That is that. Because we don't need to talk about that no more. Tyler.
Yes.
I thought the story about StarCraft 2 scandal was hilarious.
I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, in case you didn't hear about it, the breaking news supposedly is that.
Yeah, talk about that in a second.
Talk about that.
Just looking into it, like, you can't find any information, but.
Well, I mean, the basic story, first of all, that's been making its way around the blogosphere and Games Radar's site too, is that all these pro-level, South Korean StarCraft players were rigging and throwing matches, and that it was organized, and it was even the people that ran the sort of esports shows and contests over there were involved at all levels of
look at that, the kids are not happy. You were rigging our game. And we were talking in the car that everybody was comparing it to Black Sox Scandal.
Right.
And you were like, no one's gonna get that. And like, I don't know why, but I think Black Sox Scandal. Lizzie, nothing?
I don't know about that.
Michael?
Yeah.
Black Sox
Scandal?
Scandal?
With it. What about
and that happened in 1919.
Yeah.
Everybody's comparing it to that, and like Tyler's like, why are they bothering? Is it poorly translated?
Well, what I question is that if you look at that story and you follow the source links on most of the sites like Kotaku or our site, you'll eventually find yourself at one of those sorts of games news blog sites where it seems like they post a lot of news based on translating from foreign language sites. So the site where this story popped up and that all the mainstream Western game sites are citing as their source, it all dies there because the site they're all sourcing, that site that first reported the story and made that analogy to it being being comparable to the
Black Sox
scandal. Black Sox
so
scandal.
Americans can get it.
So Americans can get it. That site, that source site, doesn't say where they got what Korean source they got that news from. So I'm always a little suspicious about that when I see internet news that kind of dies at one of those translation blogging news sites.
I love the story,
but I mean,
it's such a young...
I'm not saying it's fake or made up. Or
it seems so plausible.
It
seems so we know how big it is over there,
right?
And it's just so young to be so corrupted, to be corrupted so quickly.
When I hear all these tales about about South Korea, and it sounds like this lovely place where the internet is always fast.
I just see a
everywhere.
place where nobody lives outside. A bunch of mole people who stay inside and play MMOs.
Throw each other's monitors out the window when they
Yes.
can't play enough StarCraft.
All I know about the blogs is we're doing a lot more daily stories. So when's the next time we're gonna have to do something about a Korean killing somebody in an internet cafe over a game of Dungeon Fighter?
I gotta say, I love the idea of just chain smoking in a cyber cafe.
Oh God, it seems beautiful. Am I right, Lizzie?
Totally.
Totally.
So right.
But on a somewhat related note, something I've noticed is every time we post a story that's related to StarCraft 2 or StarCraft in general, someone in the comments will chime and say, "Man, I wish it was like that here in the States. You know, I wish StarCraft got that sort of coverage that it gets in South Korea."
Do you though? Really? I mean,
I'm gonna say,
yeah, I do.
There are two very active members in the StarCraft 2 beta community who are posting amazing videos, replays with very good commentary. When you're good at doing like commentary over a StarCraft match, like it's really exciting to watch.
Watching Seth Killian do commentary for Street Fighter, I'm like, holy shit, that's like up to the minute to the move.
Yeah.
It's great. So I do appreciate that.
So I would just point people those if you're the type of guy that's saying, I wish I could see really great.
Stop
StarCraft
yawning,
matches
Michael.
with-
We're talking about StarCraft.
Here's my position on it. There's only one thing that I hate more than not playing video games, and that is watching other people play video games.
But how would it be a legitimized sport in spectator sport?
Who the fuck wants to watch that?
I want to gamble on it. That's the thing.
Fine.
You know who hates
Nobody's
watching
stopping you.
people
You can
play
do that
video
now.
games too?
Who?
Girlfriends.
Yeah.
But anyhow, let me just like give a shout out to HD StarCraft and Husky. They both have YouTube channels. They both post great videos, and I will respectfully disagree with you, Michael, in regards to StarCraft 2 commentary and replays, because I love watching really exciting matches when players do strange or tricky things, or
Didn't you do an article on just StarCraft instructional videos?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
What's it called?
How to win at StarCraft. How to get better at StarCraft without playing it. Something like that.
I can't believe it. Your memory is that poor? You wrote this like 2 weeks ago.
I did also write a gentleman's guide to losing at StarCraft 2 because I had just gotten my beta key and I found myself in the situation of being a pro-level loser.
Oh, because you got...
All that has changed, though. I'm hanging on now.
Because you got denied, you got kicked out of Platinum status?
I got kicked out of Platinum status. I got placed in the lowest league.
That's a damn shame.
It's the Copper League.
How's it feel?
It felt pretty humiliating. Felt pretty humiliating.
Not very gentlemanly, huh?
But, you always gotta throw out the GG.
The GG?
Good game.
Oh, good game. Jesus. And then clap hands afterwards?
The opener is also very important, too. You always want to type GLHF, which stands for good luck and have fun.
Wow.
How many times in a match is it permissible to say KKKKK?
None.
When do I say ASL? No? All right.
When you're sending me an IM.
How bad a cliche is it to say ZOMG Zerdrash?
It is perfectly acceptable if you're typing it for ironic purposes. That's my stance on it.
So if one Marine wanders into like your base, you can type it.
Oh wait.
You
but
can
only
type
if
that,
you're wearing a shirt that
you can
says
type that,
too.
you're in his base killing his dudes and all that.
I was going to say the only acceptable way is if you're a real Marine, because hearing that got a real soldier like under enemy fire.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Just saying, if anybody out there is listening who's in Iraq, please get yourself on tape while under fire, making a StarCraft reference. It will be a YouTube sensation. Why is everybody look uncomfortable? It's not like they don't get the internet in Iraq. Tyler Nagata also
StarCraft 2 beta keys I believe are still being given away on CVG.com, computer and video games.
Really? Are we gonna get any?
100 a day. Nope. I asked.
I go positive 100% nope.
I did what I could.
Blizzard.
I'd love to give away some StarCraft 2 beta key access.
You hear that? Bother Blizzard to give Tyler beta keys. because
although all signs point to a summer release, which is fast approaching.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
You're gonna be able, if you're into StarCraft, you're gonna be able to play StarCraft 2 soon anyway.
That's true.
Regardless of if you're in the beta or not.
I was throwing mad crazy props at Ty's. Are you okay from all the mad crazy props I'm throwing at you?
Oh,
okay.
I'm
because he gave me a bunch of shit to use this week. God damn it! One of my favorites being Game Helpin' Squad. And I from all I can discern, all I can discern, it's YouTube, the Radio Pants Dance YouTube channel, and from what I can discern, it's Cody Johnson, a columnist on Cracked, and he makes these videos about how to help you through fake games that he's making up and animating. And I think, and Eric didn't get it, but I think it's the most brilliant parody of everything on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
related to old games. Because there was a game Michael and I were looking for. It was Die Hard Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, can we find one without a dipshit talking, like trying to give a walkthrough on Die Hard Arcade? It's a 20-minute game. There's nothing you can do to lose, and somebody's talking over it.
Yeah, and what was it? I can't remember. I was watching one recently where the guy actually said, "Hold on, let me turn down the game audio so you can hear me talk." I don't want to hear you fucking talk
at all. I just want to look at the game image. Yeah. And this guy,
I want a fuzzy screenshot.
What was the one we watched in the running game?
Severe Running.
Severe Running. This is Game Helpin' Squad's version of Time Travel Understander, and. And yeah, again, I hope people like it because Eric didn't get it, but I thought it was the most hysterical thing I've ever heard. Someone reiterating common knowledge, wiki knowledge over a really old game that this one never existed.
Hey everyone, this is Pat Messner with another video game tutorial for you from the Game Helpin' Squad. And it's time for Time Travel Understander, which is a cool computer game you can also download on your console if you can download stuff on your console.
I don't care. I think this is fucking beautiful. There's a lot of visual elements that we unfortunately can't do over audio. But hey, come on, we're working on it. But this is more. I've got 3 clips. I don't.
One day, Talk Radar will assault everyone's senses, all of their senses.
Oh, I hope not. The olfactory.
Come at them through their nose. And their...
Yeah.
you can smell Chris's pizza.
Yeah. Hey. The smell of 2-day-old T-shirts and waffle batter.
Like I said, pizza.
Oh, come on.
Waffle batter.
Boo. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't funny, Michael. Crickets. It's not true. It's all a myth.
So are we going to get a gong this episode or not?
We're working on it.
Okay,
Hold tight.
Okay.
Basically,
I like that one, too.
Surprise me with the gong. You know what I want.
More Game Helpin' Squad. Time Travel Understander.
basically, it's a puzzle game, but all the puzzles are based on different manipulations of time. And the creator of the game, Jimothy Lasik, has said repeatedly that if you can't figure out what you're doing in the game, you're just not thinking in the right way. So keep that in mind.
You're cringing, but
words of caution.
It's so accurate.
I love the voice because I swear I've heard that exact voice spoken unironically in countless YouTube videos.
It's so fucking accurate. I think this shit is genius.
Part one, just to give you an idea of what you're in for. Now, basically, you gotta get up to where the time plants are harassing the time princess in order to advance to part 2. So, what you're gonna do is move Blop all the way to the other side of the screen, and then hit Shift to reverse time.
All of these walkthroughs, and they exist for every game that has ever been made, explain to you the very basics of the game, which... If you didn't already know, you probably wouldn't be able to spell in the YouTube search. And that's what I love, is how he breaks down every little detail.
Yeah. It's a great parody of that guy.
It's
that
fucking beautiful. Anytime you see a game name and the word Let's Play in front of it on YouTube, it's a beautiful, beautiful parody of that.
Or part 1 of 12.
Part 1 of 12.
That's always a good sign that you're in for some.
Do you admire the guy who gets like a pro account to do that? It's like part 1 of 12, and it's still like an 80-minute video.
My walkthrough through Leisure Suit Larry 1.
Thanks, friend. Thanks, friend. Well, and Michael's cringing again. Good, fine. We'll go into I thought was big news this week, even though it was leaked last week on accident. Gears of War 3 is announced. Yay? Nothing?
Shut up.
Yeah, I actually timed that right. Good for me.
Inevitability happened.
Inevitability happened. It was funny that we all knew it was going to happen on Jimmy Fallon's show. And when Cliff Bleszinski came on, it didn't because he was bumped. And I can say that as a Larry Sanders fan, bumped for Justin Bieber.
Because that tells you that Justin Bieber is far more important to our culture than Gears of War.
I couldn't agree more, Michael. I couldn't agree more. I've never tried to auto-tune. I've never
It
auto-tuned.
wasn't meant to be agreed with.
I've never auto-tuned a 16-year-old before. I had no idea how beautiful that could sound. Do a Bieber roll.
All I know about Bieber is that I'm not supposed to like him.
Yes. The thing
That
was
is not allowed, Tyler.
We were talking.
Bieber and Twilight. And
I'm gonna watch Twilight.
What else am I not allowed to like right now?
Well, Lizzie's really the person to ask here. Twilight. What are we not supposed to like about Twilight?
What are we not supposed to like?
Yeah, you're the big Twilight fan in the office,
I'm
right?
not a Twilight fan. Fuck you. I hate Twilight.
Wait, how many times did you see New Moon?
I saw it once.
You sure there wasn't another zero at the end of that?
No.
Okay. You weren't
Yes,
wearing. I thought you wore the T-shirt to work because you were going to the movie in the evening.
No.
No? What about your desk dress up?
That was Cheryl's fault.
I'm going to put...
And probably you, too. And
Oh,
Tyler
definitely
Wilde,
me.
who said that he wouldn't be a part of that, and he was big.
I don't know what you're talking about, but we will post a picture of Lizzie's, an old picture of Lizzie's Twilight fandom on
When did that happen?
Talk Radar 97 page. I do not remember.
I've got a reason you're not allowed to like it. How about it romanticizes destructive relationships and teaches teenage girls that if a guy doesn't like you, it's because you're not being persistent enough, and you should also try to fake a suicide attempt in order to win your ex-boyfriend back.
Did that happen?
You should probably put out on the first date.
I think I did that in The Sims
Yeah.
3, too.
Well, okay.
The suicide button?
That and vampires don't sparkle. That's bullshit.
And I'm uncomfortable knowing even that much.
I'm going to watch these things. I want to
Because
do...
Diana read about it on the internet.
And we all know Diana now. This is great.
Yay.
This is great. What were we talking about? Cliff Bleszinski announcing Gears of War 3. Justin Bieber bumped him. And I love it when fuck-ups... I don't want to say of epic proportions, because they're all fuck-ups we make at Games Radar all the time. The timed deployment of the announcement on Xbox Live went through as if Cliff Bleszinski wasn't bumped to next week from the Jimmy Fallon show. So the reveal was absolutely ruined because of Justin Bieber. It's so awesome. But did you see the new trailer at all?
I saw the headline for a story about the new trailer.
Oh, it's
but
really cool.
I just...
And I'm gonna link.
So many things to click on in a day.
I'm gonna link back to that that article specifically, but there were a couple things that
David Houghton.
You know, when the first Gears of War came out,
What's that, Lizzie?
I was still playing Halo 2 with my friends.
Ew, really?
And then they left to go play Gears of War, so
Because
I feel
I
salty about that.
I have more fun playing Gears of War 2 than I do Halo. Period.
I do okay at that
Period.
game, but I just don't like it as much. It
It's-
feels heavy.
That's what I like about it. It's not quite as fast, and there's definitely room for error.
There's that word again, heavy.
And-
And then I played the second one for a little bit, and I don't know, I just didn't really care about it that much.
Why? Do you play the single player? I actually
I
don't.
played the single player for Gears of War 2. I didn't really play much of the multiplayer.
I played-
Except for, did we play that at the marathon?
We did. We
play
played
that.
Horde mode, which
Yeah.
Horde mode I fucking love. Like, I don't play a lot of the multiplayer. Actually, no. I do prefer Halo's person against person
Yeah.
multiplayer to Gears of
I
War.
mean, the story is, I like the campaign.
Me too.
But just the multiplayer I don't really care that much for.
The trailer was announced on Jimmy Fallon, which you'll hear in a second, and it was one of those Gears trailers without dialogue and an odd song juxtaposed to what the brutal violence is, what's happening. But I loved how he broke it apart. Who was it, Dave Houghton?
Yeah.
David Houghton. He looked for all these little details, and it didn't even occur to me when I first watched that Dom has a beard. Dom has a beard. He didn't have a beard in the first two games. One, that implies something's happened. How long does it take to grow an epic beard, Michael?
A few months.
A few months.
Yeah.
Means this game does not take place right after the second.
Not even a few months, like 1 or 2 months. Probably.
This is an epic beard, Michael.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what that says to me is that beards are commonly visual shorthand for this person is depressed and not taking care of themselves.
You know, I was going to avoid saying that.
I don't think that's true.
I don't either.
Because everybody loves a good beard.
Yeah, especially when Jack had a beard on Lost. That was symbol that he was in a good place mentally.
Well,
Henry and I were going to have a beard growing contest, and I clearly lost immediately.
Well, you all.
Hey, you know what other character is now bearded? Jim Raynor from StarCraft 2.
This is probably true.
Didn't he have a beard in the first game?
Oh, maybe he did.
And Sam Fisher, right? Sam Fisher too.
Sam Fisher.
He went through his beard phase.
That's my argument against if the old Splinter Cell stuff didn't seem dated. Ubisoft, they developed that game twice.
Yeah, well, remember, wasn't it the original?
No, they're still there on GamesRadar.com. You can see the old Splinter Cell screens of Sam Fisher in a hood and a beard.
Yeah, with long emo hair.
Yeah,
so it's not like that anymore.
No, not at all.
Oh wow! So no more bump fights.
You see that? Go get mad at Lizzie. She doesn't care either.
Yeah.
Gears of War trailer. We also saw Anya fighting and confirmed as a female Gears of War character, playable for the first time and chainsawable. Is what that means.
Oh, that's sexy.
It is sexy.
It's hot.
Actually, there was some article out about they were going into the Gears of War lore and the canon and why there's no women present on the front lines, and it's because humanity is in such jeopardy. All women are confined to go home and make babies, multiple babies.
That sounds fair.
That's why that guy's wife died.
They were and this was complaining about it and how it's unfair to women, but I'm like, Marcus Phoenix and Dom are glamorized, but they're sacrificing something in this time of humanity's desperate struggle. If you have the ability to make a baby, you'd probably want to hang on to it. We don't want to have this feminist argument doing.
Well, there was also that. Did you guys read that interesting interview on Kotaku where someone was explaining why it's so rare to see female characters in war type games, just because they would have to redo all the models?
Yeah, exactly. And they'd have to give her a skirt.
Now that makes more sense that Dom has a beard because his wife died, so he's depressed.
He's depressed.
He's depressed.
He's depressed. All his kids are dead. All his kids are dead. I don't know why I know that. Cole and Baird are back. You can get a brief glimpse of in the trailer. And
do they have beards though?
I don't know. I don't think they're depressed. I think that's what they're trying to say. They are still holding it together.
That should be the thing. Everybody should have beards, and it should be about how everybody's depressed because we're losing the war.
I don't think you recognize that you can't grow beards in space.
Yeah, you can.
You also can't grow beards if you're
just
mean.
Nobody can hear them.
No.
Oh yeah,
in space, nobody can hear your beard scream.
Where's Brett? He would love my state reference, 10-year-old, 15-year-old comedy reference. What that was? Interestingly, what it also shows, is it the Lambent, this tentacled Locust 2.0, attacking another Locust, which could mean a potential team up if they're both fighting the same enemy. That's generally how these things work. Locusts and human team up. And they seem to proclaim that this is the end. And I've always found this to be one of the more particularly fascinating universes. Oh, and it all takes place in an ashen fucking annihilated... He runs through a human body that is just completely made of ash, and it dissipates as he walks through it.
Ashen is always good.
Mm-hmm. No, I just dig that because people are speculating that what Gears of War is trying to tell you is that humanity has been just as destructive as the Locusts, and may not necessarily be the people worth rooting for. They just...
let me ask you this. Was that ashen body good ash, or was it the bad ash?
What's the bad ash? The kind you didn't...
The kind you see in Army of Darkness?
Kind from Pokemon?
Kind from... Never mind.
Is there another Carmine?
Is there another Carmine? There fucking better be. Because I want somebody to die 2/3 of the way through the game. But we've already said this. But where was the game? Where was the game announced?
Is this a trick question?
Yeah, the game was announced on Jimmy Fallon's show, which is pretty interesting that there hasn't been a game announced on a network talk show ever. Oh man, you guys are on fire tonight.
Ever?
You've ventured outside of our sphere of interest.
Talk
more about StarCraft and watching other people play it instead of playing it.
All right.
And the Black Sox scandal.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I was digging the depressing beards.
Yeah. I have a depressing shaved face. This is announcing they introduced Cliff Bleszinski, and what's the music that's playing? You will all fail if you get this wrong. Readers or listeners, if you don't know what this is, you could probably stop listening too.
Welcome back, everybody. Our next guest this evening was 17 years old when he became a professional video game designer. Since then, his team has created legendary titles such as Unreal and Gears of War. He's here tonight with a world premiere trailer for an upcoming game that is going to blow your pants off. Put it together for Cliff Bleszinski, everybody!
That is so fucking weird. You hear a big band play what?
I'm just glad that my pants didn't fly off. As I mentioned before, I only have a few pairs left.
Donkey Kong?
That is Donkey Kong.
Yes.
Mike Raparez with the correct answer. He saved all of you from being fired.
Well, I knew it, but I didn't. Okay, never mind.
I believe you did.
I thought about getting it wrong on purpose just so I
same.
could pretend to walk off the podcast and go get a beer.
No, I'm not going to play the whole interview.
Like you
Instead,
frequently
we're
do.
going to go to break and play the whole interview, not the Gears of War trailer reveal portion. I'm going to go ahead and make my own Gears trailer that's 2 seconds long in between. But one thing I want you to notice when Jimmy Fallon is interviewing Cliff Bleszinski, because I guess I'll be honest, this is the first time I've watched Jimmy Fallon, and it was on YouTube.
Does he still laugh at himself?
I couldn't tell, but what I did notice, maybe see if you get this immediately as well.
Since then, his team has created legendary titles such as Unreal and Gears of War.
Jimmy Fallon sounds unbelievably like Steve Brule.
Kind of.
I couldn't move past it. So.
And you were actually got famous because you were in Nintendo Power Magazine.
If I slowed that down, it'd be the perfect Steve Brule.
Now, what did you do? And you jumped in the flagpoles and you.
It's got grease swords and shit.
Oh, this is my favorite game.
It's my favorite game.
I can't remember the name.
God, it's insane.
Yeah, that was fun though.
What makes a good game? Would you say?
Wait, that one's the best one.
God, it's insane.
That's insane. For your health.
Oh, good job, guys.
All right, Jimmy Fallon in an interview with Cliff Bleszinski. The whole thing. I dare NBC to sue us.
I hold on, I reach out to the truth of my life, seeking all the whole moment to now break away. Oh, God, let me out, can you let me out? Can you set me free from this that in the world safe in the last beat in the song?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is your WWE diva and Playboy cover girl, Ashley. Go to WWE.com. Check out the revealing interviews on GameRadars.com. Check out GamesRadar.com. GamesRadar.com.
Our next guest this evening was 17 years old when he became a professional video game designer. Since then, his team has created legendary titles such as Unreal and Gears of War. He's here tonight with a world premiere trailer for an upcoming game that is going to blow your pants off. Put it together for Cliff Bleszinski, everybody! How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. You always have the best crowds here.
Yes, I do. I really, really do. Dude, I want to talk to you because a lot of people don't have focus and know exactly what they're going to do when they're that young. But you're pretty young and you're like, I'm going to be in the video game.
Yeah, I was 6 years old and I saw Space Invaders on my neighbor's TV and I was like, boom, that's it. That's what I want to do.
Were you just peeping through his window?
Yeah. I was kind of an awkward child at that point, right?
You were spying on your neighbors.
Yeah, no, they were good friends and they had an Atari 2600 in their basement and I was like over there hanging out with friends and I saw it and I was so young and I was like, boom, this is the future. This is what I want to do. There's something so amazing about actually manipulating an image on your television.
And you were actually got famous because you were in Nintendo Power Magazine.
Yeah, my name was, I got a high score in Super Mario Brothers, and my name was, absolutely, give it up for Mario, right?
Give it up for Mario, okay, yeah.
I should be plugging Microsoft right now, but it comes back to Nintendo. Basically, I loved Mario growing up. and I got a high score of like 9,999,950, and I took a Polaroid of the screen and I sent it in, and my name was in the first issue.
Oh my
that was
gosh!
cool, yeah.
So you're in the first ever issue.
The very first issue of Nintendo Power Magazine.
Now, what did you do? And you jumped in the flagpoles and you collected all the coins.
I figured out the proper way to cheat in the game to actually get that high score. Actually.
Yes, very good. That's awesome. And then you designed your first game when you were 17.
Well, I actually made my first game when I was 11 because I wasn't really going out and hanging out with a lot of friends. I had a paper route in Boston and I was very, very nerdy. And then I made my first commercially available game when I was 17, and I started making enough money to basically move out of my mom's house, get a car, and actually start having a life.
God, that's insane.
Yeah, it was fun though.
And what makes a good game, would you say?
I mean, there's a lot of elements that go into it. Graphics are it's kind of the thing that initially pulls people in, but what ultimately matters is gameplay, right? Like, we have this whole thing in the business that we call resonance. And if you walk away from a game and you're like mowing your lawn or whatever, you're walking the dog and you start thinking about it, then that's a powerful thing. The same thing with like a good movie. If you see a good movie and you start thinking about it or talking about it with your friends, right? You can have a good story, you can have good graphics, but ultimately gameplay is the thing that matters above everything else.
That's cool. Now, you're very excited to announce what you're going to show us today. It's a world premiere.
Yeah, it's actually the worst kept secret in the video game industry that we're working on Gears of War 3.
Yeah, this is very good. This is awesome. Very cool. Now, that's what you've been doing. So you want to set it up and show the clip?
Yeah, so basically the clip is called Ashes to Ashes, and it's a trailer that kind of outlines the world that you're going to see in Gears of War 3.
Very good. Here we go. Let's take a look.
Ah, hell, a corpse, sir! I don't think they're gonna let us just climb on him. You got a better idea? God damn it! Hey, Colonel. I guess we are the support, huh? Sorry. Bring it on, sucker! This my kind of shit!
That's how to do it. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. Yeah. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with the series, it's a planet called Sura. There was a lot of war on it, and basically a new enemy called the Locust came out and started taking out the humans. And in the new game, there's an even greater threat called the Lambent, and it's these kind of crazy tentacle monsters that can mutate while you're fighting them. All sorts of new weapons, got a double-barreled shotgun. We have female soldiers finally in the game, by the way, which is very, very fun. Yeah. A lot of the fans have been asking for that one for a while.
This is so cool. And when can we play this?
You can play it April 2011.
April 2011. Yeah. Oh my God, it's a year from now.
Yeah, well,
we got time to get excited.
In this day and age, you got to build the hype a lot. You got to build it early. You have to kind of be like Will Smith calling out July 4th back in the day, right?
All right, very good. So what exact date? Or we don't just say April?
Probably be about April 8th.
April 8th. Yeah. Here we go. April 8th, 2011. Gears of War 3. Cliff Bleszinski right here, everybody. The world premiere. Thanks for that.
You stupid men. Ha ha ha.
Talk radar, bitches.
All of a sudden, I could feel 100% evil come over me.
Whoopee! I'm going to GamesRadar.com, the official website of the internet.
Can you dig it?
Teams of Polka share. Nya difference is car of a player. Nya season sensitive semi-scared. Yo, every day she makes high and low. You may praise the day. You may touch my side back to underneath. I feel I scratch you.
All right, Sheepy Horn, and we're back, and
I'm excited.
Why you should be excited because you were the one to blame. I mean, who suggested this? You're the one who gave me the idea to come in with this because in lieu of I don't want to play. Look, Rock Band this week, The Used. I'm not a fan. You know what else I'm not a fan of?
You're not a Rock Band fan?
Rock Band fan. I'm saying The Used. I'm not a fan of The Used.
I see.
The band.
I got you.
You know what else I'm really not a fan of? But I know Lizzie is. Smash Mouth All-Star.
No, fuck that.
That is on Rock Band this week.
Man, you might as well be walking on the sun.
So Tyler Nagata suggested you should just play this song. Dote Up the Cat?
Dote Up a Cat.
Dote Up a Cat.
This was brought to my attention by our new Cheap Planet editor, Mike Grimm.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're about to hear is the intro for...
We're hearing it. You want to start it? You want to start it over? Can you translate any of this? I know it's in English.
It's in English.
But I can barely understand it.
Well, that's why I emailed you some of the lines.
Did you really?
Yeah. It's in your email.
I can't see my email right now. My internet don't work.
Right.
tell me, but you subject yourself to, would you say, weeks of horrible anime at a time?
Yeah, I still like to read the anime, read the mangas, and watch the animes.
What is this game about?
This is Dota Paquette is from what I understand, not having played it myself, is a hentai adventure game where you play a doctor in a hospital and you're encountering all these terminally ill cat girls. And
I love it.
And apparently, if you choose to, since it's an H game, you can have sex with these cat girls, and it's really morbid and depressing because they're all actually really sick, and they need your help as a doctor to not die, but you're taking advantage of them sexually.
Hentai.
That's awkward.
I played a hentai game once.
No, you didn't. You did?
Yeah.
Which one?
Ganguro Girl.
How was it?
Ganguro Girl.
Do you
That
know
is a
one?
classic.
That sounds
That is a
terrible.
classic Flash.
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't know if you remember this, but it has a really catchy guitar lick.
I don't remember that. But
That's what we're talking.
I don't remember. I just remember pressing the keyboard a bunch of times to make the. Are we allowed to say this? Yeah, there you go. There, thank you. You already did for me.
Did you or didn't you? No, okay, that's a dumb question. That's the sound of Lizzie playing a hentai game.
It sounds pretty epic.
Yeah.
A retro hentai game.
A retro hentai game. When you said this to me, I looked for it and found out really quickly it wasn't one word. Dote. Up. A. Cat.
Dote.
Dote.
How do you spell it?
D-O-T-E.
That doesn't make sense.
Starting the song over. Wait until you hear this. Here we go. Did they say something there?
Something about cat. Nya nya, which is onomatopoeia for a cat's meow.
I always imagine some actress in a recording booth making cat noises.
Hanging upside down.
Can we work on your inflection a little bit? One more time with feeling. Nya nya. Sensitive Siamese cat.
There you go. You got it. Tyler says it's okay.
Nice.
This one time
The
only.
gong.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What are we talking here?
Something every day, it's high and low. In life that you encounter highs and lows.
This is all true. I can see your brain working.
It's because I remember watching the video because you can see the
I know.
words
I watched.
scrolling.
All right. I can't understand. I remember watching it and seeing the lyrics, and one of them was "Tender Like the Sunshine." And
I remember one was.
It doesn't make "Tender Like the Sunshine." That doesn't make any sense at all.
It's full of lines. It's full of Englishy lines.
Tender like
that.
the sunshine.
I think at one point they say, "I fierce, I scratch, sorry."
There we go, and that'll bring us into game deals.
Thank you.
Song everybody likes.
Do as I say, save a little money for a rainy day.
Flip to my pages. Game deals. GameStop. Apparently some used game sale where you can save 45% if you spend over $100. There are the coupon codes 25 off. 25 off. I'll let you guess what that means. 10 auto. I'm guessing that's 10% off, equaling 35%. And if you use your Edge card, you get an additional 10%, making for 45% off. Apparently, all these codes work together.
Just don't get those Xbox games.
That sounds like a lot of math.
Because they don't exist.
25 off, 10 auto, and 10 auto are the coupon codes. Splinter Cell Conviction is $46.99 on Amazon if you use the code SPLINTER. And I think this only lasts throughout the weekend. Splinter. I have no idea how to spell that. But, yeah, no laughs.
On
Good.
a related
Good for
note,
me.
I hate getting splinters.
There you go. There you go.
Just
Wait.
just want to chime in.
No, I'm trying to find my comedy
Just trying
noise.
to be involved.
Engaging.
Those did suck though. I hated that.
don't
Then
they?
you'd have to get like the needle.
Yeah. I hate
But you had to
that, yeah.
sterilize
Yeah,
it first.
yeah.
That was a pain in the ass.
I gotta dig in there.
Yeah. That's why I
Peel
avoid
back
working
the skin
with wood.
until it comes out.
You may like this, Tyler. I've
Yes.
never done a game deal for them before, but Direct Drive, D2D, our competitors over at IGN, Fox Entertainment, whatever they're called. Direct to Drive, have you used them before, by any chance? Are they DRM free?
I don't know off the top of my head. Can't
Well,
say that I
it
do.
may not matter with prices that are this decent. Dirt 2 is $9.95, and I love Dirt 2.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Yeah, it's 75% off. This is like their spring sale. Week 1, apparently there'll be more next week, and there's more that I'm just going to mention. Fallout 3 on the PC, $14. Stalker Clear Sky,
Yes.
$4.95. Dark Void, $14. Exactly what it's worth.
Yes. Yes.
Steam, apparently, on April 20th, $4.20, which has no significance to me whatsoever. High five.
Sweet
High
man.
five.
Yeah, that's what
High
I'm
five.
talking about.
High five all around. Yeah, right?
Yeah, high
Hitler's
fives all
birthday.
around.
Hitler's birthday.
Oh, is that what?
Yes. I hope Michael has a surprise in store for us on 420.
I hope so too.
But the adventures, the Misadventures of PB Winterbottom will be $4.99 on Steam.
What?
Yeah. Nice little indie game. It's super cool. That is all I have for game deals.
Take my advice,
Finding
do as I say, save a little money for a rainy day.
What are you buying?
Okay. This is our community segment. For folks who don't know, we have forums, GamesRadar.com/forums. Hit the forum tab on GamesRadar.com, not too hard. We ask a question of the week every week. Since you guys weren't here, the question was, what's a game you and your family bonded over?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Was there not a game like you?
The game that I want to talk about, I can't remember the name of it.
What was it? What were you doing?
Okay, well let me set up the situation for you.
Mhm.
I have an older brother.
Mhm.
He's 10 years older than me.
Okay,
which
that's
is a big
difference. That's a big difference.
That's a big age gap. So when I
Younger.
was 6,
He's a
he
teenager.
was 16. When I was 8, he was 18.
Mhm.
That's a big difference. And we lived near a pool hall that was turned into an arcade by the time we were.
Oh, you talked about this before.
Oh yeah, that's right. I talked about Kaimaki Q previously. So
Is that what it is?
That's what the pool hall was called. It was a
Mhm.
pool hall when my dad was growing up, but by the time me and my brother were of the age
Little.
to go about walking about,
Mhm.
it was totally an arcade, and it had illegal pachinko machines in the back if you need the secret knock or whatever. But anyhow,
I better know what the knock was. Nothing. Come on, that was.
But anyhow, with him being 10 years older than me, I idolized my older brother. So every time
That's weird.
I got to hang out with him, he's the reason I got interested in Dungeons and Dragons and drawing and comic books and video
Mhm.
games and whatnot. And I remember one night, I think I was about 7 or 8 or so, he snuck me out of the house so my parents wouldn't know that I was out late at night with my brother. And he took me to Kaimaki Q, this arcade near my house, and we're playing some top-down, shooter type airplane.
1942.
It was 1942. It was a sci-fi kind of a game. Maybe one of you guys can remember.
In the
You were like a
arcade.
robot that transformed. And it
Michael,
was
I need you here.
overhead top-down shooter, and some levels were side-scrolling. But anyhow,
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Anyhow, it was a shooter. It
Life
was,
Force Gradius.
It might as well have been.
Salamanders.
Thexter.
But what he let me do is he let me
Sylphid.
he let me smash on the button that made you shoot while he controlled.
That is awesome.
And we played through several games that way, and I was very happy as a little kid being with my much older and at the time seemingly much cooler brother.
I'm sure it was cool. Lizzie.
He is cool.
Well, my parents don't really play games, but
Mhm.
and if my mom did try to play a game, it would not go well because she recently got a touchscreen phone and she doesn't even know how to use that yet.
Touch it, Jesus, bitch.
No,
break
it! I did play 2 Extreme one time with my dad.
Wow!
On the PlayStation.
That fucking colossal shit pile of pixels and skateboards
Yeah,
and
yeah.
neon clothing.
But when I was younger, I did play,
So you had a PlayStation.
yeah, that was like my first console.
Wow, you're
Because it was my first console because my parents wouldn't buy me video games. They thought it was a waste of money, and then I finally convinced them somehow to buy a PlayStation. for
somewhere
my
after
birthday.
1995.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm
It
being
was
Brett
90
Elston right now.
97, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wayback Machine.
But I did play Halo 2 with my sisters when I was really into it, and it was just all bad also because I'd be yelling at them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, what are you doing? Throw a grenade, no, stupid!
Wait a minute, haven't you also been playing some Left 4 Dead?
Actually, yeah, that's the most recent thing we've been playing.
Oh, with sis?
What?
Mm.
Left 4 Dead
With
2.
sis?
Yeah, my younger sister. Don't try to hit on her because she's underage.
I have a question. Is she single?
No. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Lizzie's sister is single and exists somewhere in the world.
Yep.
That's right.
That was mean. I should not have done that.
I hate you.
You're a horrible host.
She is also 65 pounds and
Oh yeah. Sorry about your wiki page.
way younger than me.
What did that say?
Way younger than 17.
You quoted
or
me
whatever it is.
on your wiki pages. I said you're 17 years old, weigh 65 pounds, and are looking for a man to take you to Boner Town.
Totally.
Which I doubt I said all of that.
Anyway, moving forward, she's actually really good at Left 4 Dead for a girl.
I believe you. I believe because did you tell me at one point
That's
you guys?
a little bit of a sexist qualifier, don't you think?
Yeah.
Well, she's good for a girl.
It was meant to
I don't think Lizzie considers herself a girl. She thinks she plays like a normal man.
Yeah.
That was supposed to get a laugh.
That was
I am not on
also
fire.
I chuckled.
I know.
I chuckled.
I know.
It's
but
all
you guys said
sexist.
you played. You played Street Fighter with it too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Long ago.
Yeah, I used to win all the time, so
Mm-hmm.
she'd get
That's
mad. And I'd always have to pretend to lose, so she'd feel okay.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that's when I thought I was really good at Street Fighter. Then I started playing with people who actually played Street Fighter and found out I really suck.
It sounds to me exactly what happens to me when I go from playing a multiplayer appointment to playing against actual players.
Yeah.
Oh, the developers are being nice to me. Our user said, Batman 5273 GR Power user has a video of him and his daughter playing stuff together.
That is cute.
Yeah, a video including Rock Band, SpongeBob Best Day Ever, which could be the greatest song available on DLC.
I give that an A for adorable.
Thank you. Thank you. Morally Green said Gabriel Knight with his dad. Too bad Charlie's not here to appreciate that. Sticky Lungs and
I'll
his...
appreciate it for him.
There you go. Sticky Lungs and his sister
I'm so sorry.
Sticky Lungs and his sister beat Ocarina together. Fuck, who said this? Oh, I don't have it written down. We're gonna read it anyway. Because it's cute. And some of these are going to be depressing, and some of these are going to be like life-affirming. I was brought up in an uber-strict Christian household, so my mom's always hated video games, and any thought or mention of them.
Wait, is that mom's
Yeah, I was
plural or
just thinking that,
singular?
like-
It's like, does he have ultra-strict lesbian mothers?
Yes.
Nice.
Wait, really?
Hot.
What?
Hot.
Hot.
Wasn't allowed any video game console until the PS2. The reason I was allowed a PS2 is because of the following story. I'd borrowed my friend's game emulator pad, one of those cheap N64 controller ripoffs that plugs straight into the TV. One of the games it had on it was Pac-Man, the original. I got totally addicted, played it for 8 hours straight one day, and my mom walked in and caught me and went fucking nuts. Anyway, she confiscated the game until that Monday, so I could take it back to my friend at school. So Sunday at like 2 a.m. I get thirsty and come downstairs, and I see a blue glow coming from the living room. I go in, there's my mom wide-eyed with 5 empty coffee mugs next to her. She sat cross-legged on the floor just playing Pac-Man.
Nice.
What?
Turns out I left the game on, and when I went back upstairs, she picked up the controller, and I thought she'd see what the fuss was about, and ended up playing all night. Obviously, she didn't intend on me to catch her. 2 months later, she bought me my PS2.
Aww.
I had to ask. I've never even seen this
That is
cover.
also hot.
Jordo141 said Future Cop on PS1.
Ooh.
Wow.
Come on, I'm begging for you to wiki bar
Sure
us
he's
this.
not talking about Time Cop?
No.
Or Super Nintendo?
Wait, did you do a split in the game?
Wait, no. Is Future Cop that one with the
LAPD?
fucking walker,
I think so.
mech? Yeah.
Yes.
I remember that. It was sort of like Jungle Strike or Urban Strike, but with a robot.
I think that counts.
Yay!
There we go. You got one.
Yeah.
Got one in.
Yeah, I'm just completely distracted reading Charlie's Twitter about old people on the plane.
Why? What are they doing?
Was it the...
Were they asking for extra peanuts?
No. It's this old guy he's sitting next to on a flight. When he found out that he writes about games, he asked when you guys, in air quotes, are gonna quote, invent virtual reality.
Ah.
Yes.
That's probably the next GR update.
And then apparently told Charlie about some game he played on PlayStation 2 that had a genie and a gorilla with a hammer. And when asked for more details, he just said it was right there on the TV screen.
Oh, it's good we can have a laugh because this is going to be depressing. Gersnort. I guess that's not his real name. When I was young, my mother was shot in the back by my stepfather, who then that night committed suicide.
Oh.
As a 9-year-old, for weeks I was kind of depressed.
Kind of
depressed in a
Wow.
dreamlike state where everything was cloudy. Everyone, even my friends, always wanted to console me and talk about it. It was the very last thing in my mind, and I actually wanted to talk about. My uncle came back from Iraq during the Desert Storm. He caught the first flight back to my town. At first I was ambivalent about his arrival, but then noticed that he seemingly wanted to hang out with me and my little sister. He took us out to eat, later took us home, and when we got there, he gets his duffel bag out and unloads his NES with a couple of games. Among those was Rygar. Now that game beat my balls black and blue for a while. But for a while, my mind was off my own shit. I appreciate that to this day and remain very close with my uncle. Yeah.
That story is from the heart.
It's from the heart. And once again, I try to combine things. So here are
What was the name of that user?
Gersnort, Blanca Picture.
Thank you
can
very
see him
much.
in GamesRadar.com/forums.
Thank you very much for sharing.
New users this week. I'm going to read a bunch of their stuff because what I try to do, what I saw was a lot of sports games, Madden, NCAA, a lot of that family bonding over that, a lot of Wii Sports, a lot of Mario
Wii
Kart,
Sports.
a lot of kart games,
Oh.
specifically kart games. Which one do you think would be biggest?
Card game?
Kart.
Cart.
Yes.
Mario Kart?
Fucking Crash Team Racing was mentioned repeatedly
Oh, wow.
as a bonding experience with families.
That was one of my first PlayStation games, too.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Like
Crash
like
Bandicoot
after that, I was like,
Wasn't that
oh,
like one of the last PlayStation games?
Well, I got it later, later when...
that was when I knew,
It was
like, oh, Crash will
PS2
never
time.
be okay again. There'll never be another good Bandicoot game. And I wasn't wrong. New users, Papa Smurf. Infogrames Radar. White Knight 1981. Ninja Walrus Meow, who played Twisted Metal 3 co-op with his mom.
Wow, that's
It's
pretty
not
badass.
only surprising because it's Twisted Metal, but it's a terrible Twisted Metal.
I retract that badass statement.
No, I love Twisted
I
Metal.
wonder what their favorite cars were, or drivers.
Is there a female character in that there Twisted Metal? I can't.
Yeah,
Is there?
There are several.
Who?
There's
Spectre?
Yeah, I think Spectre's driver is a woman at one point. I think what's the green car? Grasshopper? Something
The
like
first
that.
one.
And like it's driven by Calypso's daughter in one of them,
Ah.
or somebody pretending to be.
Oh.
Back to new users. Wrigley, wire hanger abortion. Johnny.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
oh, that's quite a
No,
handle.
we're very proud to have him.
Welcome. what was it again?
Wire hanger
abortion.
Oh, excuse me, abortionist.
Oh,
Wire
wire
hanger.
hanger.
No, he actually does the abortion. He isn't
Oh.
the. Yeah. Johnny Applesperm. Glad to see that
Oh, I
made it.
heard about that guy.
Yeah.
That's where it came from, huh?
Yeah, I think so. It came from something Michael said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
probably.
Fine.
Baby,
I'll take it.
Baby Toucher, who has a story I find touching. My dad basically hates games and never played one in a single life, except for one, Mickey Mania: The Timeless Adventures of Mickey Mouse.
What was that on? Was that the Super?
For the Genesis.
Oh, for the Genesis.
Specifically in this case. I remember asking my dad to give it a try, which he eventually agreed to, and we played for ages and had great fun, and it really brought us closer as a family. It soon became an addiction and took over our lives, as neither of us could beat the damn game, as there were no save points and it had to be beaten in one playthrough. Dude, you had the Genesis. I just used the codes like 6 months ago for a feature. You should have known. The Genesis version of the of Wikipedia, by the way, is the only one with the orchestra music day hurricane level.
Did not know that.
All right.
Give yourself a Wikiparas.
All right. Yay! Look at that. I even got permission. That's illegal. Couldn't beat one playthrough. Our strategy was to give the controller to whoever was best at that particular section, and so on. However, things changed, and soon my dad became obsessed and would get angry at me if I lost. If I lost as a life. This was when I gave up the game knowing it was impossible. However, my dad continued, and I remember waking up at 2 in the morning to screams of, "Fuck you, Mickey Mouse!"
Fuck you, Mickey.
Coming from downstairs. Eventually, we sold the game after my dad realized the game was truly impossible. Back to the new user.
Wait a minute. So, the game never got beat?
Ooh, I see. This is going to be... if he dies, that's unresolved. That's therapy.
That makes me sad. That
Luckily,
makes me sad when
luckily
when you don't get to beat a game that you really wanted to beat.
That's a really cool game, if you're really gay for Mickey Mouse like me. Back to new users. Tizzle Sniper, CJ12297, Lulat, Snappin' Necks, the Nesta, who had a touching little story. I forgot exactly what it was. But believe it or not, my mother was really into JRPGs. Women are kind of stereotyped as liking JRPGs, so I can't imagine growing up with a mom who was into JRPG. Nothing. All right. Yeah, weird, I know. When I was 4 years old, Nintendo Power sent us our copy of the first Dragon Quest game, known as what? Who wants to run to it?
Dragon Warrior.
There you go, Michael. Hold on. Bam. Dragon Warrior, and this was our introduction to the genre. I remember trying to play the game through with my mom, but unfortunately at the time I couldn't read.
Ouch!
Thankfully my mom and even my grandma helped me learn how to read along with the game. Pretty cool way to learn to read, in my opinion. So I'd watch my mom play this game, and then I'd try to catch up to her. Eventually I passed her and ended up beating the Dragon Lord well before she did, and that was a pretty awesome moment. But I never would have experienced that if it wasn't for her. We both continued to play JRPGs throughout the following years, had plenty of conversations about Final Fantasy IV and Soul Blazer, but I only want to highlight a couple more. First, I got really excited for the PlayStation when I saw that there was going to be a new Final Fantasy game for it. So, of course, that year, I got a PlayStation and Final Fantasy VII for Christmas. I played the shit out of that game. Of course, I had to tell my mom about it, so I did, and I think I got to the part where I told her Sephiroth carries his mom's head around with him before she knew it, she had to play the game. I remember watching her play through the whole game and even writing little guides to help her do some side quests, like getting Vincent to join you. Yes.
Can I just say that's not that? In addition to that being a touching, heartwarming story, that is quite an accomplishment to have beaten Dragon Warrior at such a young age.
Exactly. And,
if you were that young that you needed help reading and you beat that game, wow.
Yeah.
By 2 generations.
Amazing.
2 generations helped out.
Yeah.
The other game was notable was Tales of Destiny. I actually got stuck in a boss in that game. My mom started playing it and actually beat that boss and then told me how to do it. Kind of embarrassing to have your mommy tell you how to beat a boss in a Japanese role-playing game, but whatever. Sadly, my mom passed away in September of 1999. Shortly after Final Fantasy VIII had come out. I remember I was in the last dungeon of the game when we got the call that she had been in an accident.
These are sad.
I know. There's plenty of terrible things about this, but one of my biggest regrets to this day is that I can never show her Final Fantasy VIII or any of the JRPGs that have come out after that. I know she loved them. At least she didn't have to suffer through the disaster that was Dirge of Cerberus. Oh, he brought it back with a joke. Boom!
I have goosebumps after.
I know. Look at that. Me too. Not Lizzie though. She's inflappable.
From the heart.
It's the same as flappable.
These stories are from the heart.
New users: Epsilon Sigma Mu, the Private Dick, Brosif, and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamco. We got a Shy Fonzie.
Yeah, already.
We have 2 Shy Fonzies.
You got a Shy Fonzie.
Shire.
I
think there needs to be a Shy Down.
You know what? This guy, the new user, Shy Fonzie, has no avatar, and the other one has Fonzie just looking happy. I think it's the new Shy Fonzie.
I'm not really sure how I feel about people imitating me.
Come out of your shell, Shy Fonzie.
Why you folks always laughing?
The people love you. Okay, he's losing interest.
Can't really do the voice anymore.
Black Echo, Pokemon Black drives like this.
Wow.
I've got new socks. Ghost 513.
I don't think people should be that racist with Pokemon.
Kenty, Private Dick Willie Johnson, Rhindog, Dunk 12, Raccoon Hale, Wiki Pares with an S.
Pares.
Oh, with an ES.
Muy bien.
Spicy Food, Mr. Suitman, who said something. Again, I tried to get ones that stuck out that weren't sports games, Mario Kart. The one that sticks out most to him is Shadow of the Colossus. and I was having trouble so much trouble with a lizard guy that shoots electricity and climbs the wall. Every time I died, my grandpa would always say something like this, and he's translating from Vietnamese. You died again. Why you always die? Stab him harder. Love that. Also, new users.
There's a nice horse in that game.
Also, new user Darth Cockles, who said when he was younger, in the ages of 6 and 8, he lived in Guam. He says, my dad was active in the Navy when we were deployed there. He would be on the USS Niagara Falls, right? Big ups to our listeners on the USS Niagara Falls. And he would be out to sea for months at a time. When he'd come home from ports like Taiwan and Singapore, he would bring me back Nintendo games and controllers. Fucking
sweet.
Awesome. One of the most distinct times was when he brought back from the Gulf War on one of our Nintendo nights. He brought back a game called Silent Service, a submarine game about hunting down ships, more of a sim than anything else. We both really got into it that night. He wore his dress whites hats and let me wear his khaki one.
Oh.
We sat on the floor, and I was in front of him, and we just shoot commands like periscope up, full speed ahead, sharks in the water, get in the torpedoes, and even when typing this out, it makes me choke a bit. Me too, Darth Cockles. He was gone a lot during the military service, but when he came home, we really did have some good times. After we got stationed stateside in Oak Harbor, Washington, he got me a SNES for Christmas that year with a Super Scope 6. We sat on the couch all day playing the shit out of that stupid game. My mom even got on any action during the puzzle games. I now have a little girl. She's going to be 3 months old soon, and she loves watching me play Guitar Hero and Rock Band. It's adorable how excited she gets when I kick ass at Modern Warfare 2, and she's got a little chair that sits next to me while I play the game. And he's got a picture of his daughter in the little, absolutely adorable pink chair. And my heart is melting. Wrapping up
How
the new
could your
users.
heart not melt?
Wrapping up the new users, Julius Seizure, and Conman93, and that is it. We need a new question of the week this week.
Before we move on to the new question, am I
Oh, go for
allowed
it.
to give my shout out to...
Please.
Just want to give a shout out to my good friend Star Platinum and his wife, confirmed girl listener.
Wow.
Nice.
Really in our forum.
Yeah. I also want to say that you're mentioning Crash Team Racing made me realize something.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm going to predict...
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm going to predict right now the fourth Uncharted game is going to be a racing game. Because that's what Naughty Dog does. They pump out 3 games in a franchise, then they do a racing game and abandon it forever. They did it with...
And then is it going to be a party game after?
Wow.
Yeah, and then it gets handed off to another developer.
Wow.
It happened with Crash, it happened with Jack and Daxter,
Mm-hmm.
and it's probably going to happen with Uncharted unless they decide they like it long enough to not do that.
You heard it here first.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right, new question of the week this week, because it is a bittersweet week here in the Gamesphere. Xbox Live goes dark forever.
It was already dark
You
yesterday.
wanna pretend to cry again?
No.
No?
No.
No? That's alright, I can just cue it up. Alright, see?
Lights off, it's a witch.
Yeah, what's a game you would really miss if it went offline? Is that how I said it earlier? What did I say?
That's pretty much it.
If it went offline, like I guess it has to be a multiplayer specific game.
Yeah.
What's a game if it just, even if you're not playing it right now, if it just went away forever? And like console games aren't like PC games. You can't start a dedicated server for Crimson Skies. Well, I guess you can't because it's a PC game. If they pulled a Phantasy Star online and went offline forever tomorrow, is there a game out there you would miss, even if it's Modern Warfare? Like there's.
I did miss Phantasy Star Online.
You did?
A little bit.
All right, Michael's chiming in.
I was done with it by the time it went offline, but it was kind of like, oh, I'll never get to play that online again. That kind of sucks.
It is a little. It's like it's almost, and this is a bad metaphor, but it's almost like a high school locker you get to keep for a long time, and then eventually someone says, "We're throwing everything out."
Yeah.
And you're losing. You're losing it all.
exactly.
Never again.
I will tell you though, I would be very depressed if Transformers 2 Revenge of the Fallen went offline, because as T-Dar Turbo has made the point of reminding me on Twitter, I think it was the next Team Fortress 2. Because I use that as a sensationalistic title in a headline, and then kind of almost immediately refuted it, because it's like, well, okay, it's not that, but it's good.
It's team-based.
Yeah.
Let's cooperate.
It's class-based also.
Somebody just sent me a message.
I wrote an embarrassing preview.
I saw your review in P-Tom of Sonic Sega All-Star. He was sort of joking around. He was like, way to fucking backpedal. I'm like, hey, I made fun of that game on concept, and that Sega's desperate, which I still believe, and because of the way they sold it. Excuse me?
Whack! Super horn!
Yes, that is part of the...
See, I'd say the same thing, but I think my wah would have a very different tenor. I think I would actually be sobbing and then say super horn.
Thing is,
that's what video games have come to.
Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing is a fucking great game, and it's way better than the last Mario Kart game, which everybody bought out of some weird thing of habit or routine. Whatever. Yes, fine.
The Wii one?
Yeah, the Wii one. The Wii one. No one likes the Wii one.
They re-released that Super, or did they?
Oh, they
not do
on
it yet?
Virtual Console.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super Mario Kart is on Virtual Console. Everybody, you heard it from Lizzie Cuevas.
Was that old news? I like really old news.
Yeah, an internet time. It's probably like a year or two old.
Anyway.
In actual time, it's probably like a couple of days.
Yeah, it's probably like it's less than 2 weeks old.
Okay.
No, that was my Mario World.
Okay.
Sound effect.
I would actually miss Left 4 Dead, because that is one of the few games I genuinely enjoy playing online,
and I can pick it up anytime, and I don't really have to worry if my skills are rusty. Somebody will help you.
Yeah. Also, because if Left 4 Dead ever went offline, that would be a completely useless game.
Yeah. That is a game I keep meaning to consider buying for the 360 so that I can play with you guys.
Yeah.
Why?
Because none of you are on Steam.
I'll buy it eventually on Steam.
I have Steam, but I just don't play anything on it anymore.
Yeah.
I have Steam, and I know that like every other week they drop the price to like a nickel, so I'll just pick it up the next time they do that.
But can your computer run it even if you...
That's where we run
that's,
it.
that's the problem.
Mine can.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
That's where we run it. But it's Left 4 Dead. It ran Half-Life. I ran Half-Life 2 on the computer I had before I even came to San Francisco, so I hope it works. Game you'll miss if it ever went offline. Don't say WoW.
Okay. How about a game that's not even out yet? StarCraft 2 hasn't even released yet, but I would miss it if it... I already just thinking about not being able to play it tonight when I get home.
Yeah.
Multiplayer beta. It's that
Which
good.
is because StarCraft...
I'm telling you, it's that good.
The original StarCraft wasn't necessarily famous for being online. I mean, people land the fuck up.
Right. Yeah, it's great. It's great, and they really upgraded. It sounds silly to talk about like UI and the interface, but like after you play a match, whether you win or lose, you can see the build order second by second, so you can see like what you and your opponent were building each second, each unit that was built, and you can like watch the replay and see exactly what happened. It's just so perfectly put together to make you a better player just by playing it more often, which is awesome. It's competitive online gaming is back. Yeah, it's great. It's great. I would miss it dearly, and it's not even out yet.
A game that I would miss if it went offline. Don't judge me, but when I'm drunk and I just want to play something silly, I like to load up Mario Strikers Charged.
Oh my god!
On the Wii.
Give me the ball.
On the Wii, and was that Wario? I have
Give it
Wario.
to me.
Yeah.
That's my Wario impression.
I really like to play that, and as an insult to the game. No matter how rusty I am, I'm still pretty good.
Yeah.
Every other game I try, I'm going to jump into Counter-Strike. I don't know why I suck now. Apparently, the last couple patches changed my speed. Gun can't go back and play it without a little practice. But Mario Strikers Charged.
Yeah.
Mario Strikers Charged. I always can. It's the only thing keeping the dust off my Wii.
You should come downstairs sometimes.
I don't even know where my Wii is.
Oh,
Leash loves that game.
Does he?
We've had some late night brawls. All
right, let me level up my Yoshi, and I'll be downstairs.
Yeah. It's on.
Well, mine was already mentioned.
What
Halo
was it?
2 in top 7.
Was that mentioned?
And thanks for saving that, by the way. And it's not biased because I heard a lot of haters say it should have been Battlefront 2 that was number 1, but more people will say that Halo 2.
Fanboys. Halo
Yeah.
2 was more important.
Yeah, sorry. Not
It was
hating
the
on
right
the
choice.
Stormtroopers
It was the right
and stuff.
choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from Halo 2, I would also miss Left 4 Dead because I really love
Mhm.
that game. That's my still my favorite game right now.
We've never played together. We gotta do this.
Yeah, I know. How
I know
come?
I have
Why
like
is that?
no achievements in the game, and I'm like, why the fuck is that? Oh yeah, well I don't play versus. That'll do it.
And I actually currently kind of miss playing City of Heroes and Villains
Uh-oh.
right now, but I just can't invest any time in it.
I didn't even Twitter it, but it was Amazon's deal of the day today.
I
City
know.
of Heroes.
I
City of Heroes.
knew about that. But, the reason I stopped playing to begin with was because all the people I regularly was playing with, they
Mhm.
stopped playing too, so it wasn't as fun when you don't know anybody.
Exactly. You meet people, and then you get married to someone who's actually a different gender than you expected.
But yeah, I do miss that.
City of Heroes, that's NCSoft.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in finding out more about Guild Wars 2.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever
Will we get beta keys to Guild Wars?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I'm a big NCSoft fan. I'm a fan of their business model.
Which is
you for at least for Guild Wars is you buy the game
Mm-hmm.
and there's no monthly fee, but they release regular updates for
Mhm.
it and charge new game box prices like $49.
Really?
Dang.
So it's not quite the complete open world that you get in most
It
subscriptions.
really plays on your addiction, though.
It's a nice middle ground, Like you get that open world WoW MMO type feel, but it's a little more instanced, so they don't have as much cost with upkeeping their servers and whatnot, but they make up for it by delivering regular updates.
All right, let's get out of here as
That's
Talk
boring.
Radar inches closer to episode 100. Make sure to call the hotline. What is it? 1877 Leet Dar, which I believe is Leet Dar. What is? I don't know what that translates to numbers. 1-877-434 Leet Dar.
I don't know.
Shit, we should post that
Wait,
somewhere.
is it Leet Dar with you push
Like
the number for the
13?
E?
Dar? Dar is the extension.
Oh, okay.
But it turns out, a new revelation. It also spells FAP, so you can be Leet FAP. I don't even know if I'm saying the name right. Brett has all the phone calls go to him. That's why we're not playing any this week, and I don't have any. Anybody got anything they want to plug this week? Next week?
Yeah, I'm working on what should be the thrilling conclusion of what I'm going to call the Hitler trilogy for 420, and keep an eye out May 3rd for a bunch of stuff on Metal Gear Peace Walker.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be. I think that's about the only game anyone's excited about for PSP.
I can't think of anything else. Lumines? Lumines?
Lumines?
Lumines?
Oh, did I say that earlier?
No, you just said it before.
Oh, yeah.
Lumines.
No new Lumines on the horizon.
Mm-hmm. Anything you're working on that's coming out soon?
Nope.
Well, then go comment it in Lizzie's Top 7. The Top 7 Xbox Live games we'll miss.
StarCraft 2, World of Warcraft Cataclysm, and Diablo 3.
Are you working on any articles, Tyler?
No.
Yes,
well,
you are.
I hope to be working on. I hope to be posting stuff about all three of those.
So you're into StarCraft 2?
StarCraft 2?
I had no idea.
I'm hanging on in the Platinum League in TV2 with our ex-art intern Kevin Hansen.
I'll be working on maybe something with 3D Game Heroes and hopefully something involving balls and bullets. I hope that's vague enough. All right.
Top 7 best crotch shots?
No.
And shooters?
No, because that would be Stranglehold. Because you get an achievement for it.
True.
But that's it. I'm feeling a little tired. I'm gonna lie down. Nagata, what are we gonna close out of here with?
We are gonna close out with a song called, I believe it's called Fet's Vet by MC Chris, and I first heard this song at the end when the credits were playing for a C-Lab episode. That's how I first heard it. So.
He's a voice on C-Lab.
No, they play the clip of this song.
No, MC Chris is a voice on C-Lab.
Oh, wait, who is he? Which guy is
He's Hesh. Hesh.
Oh, he's Hesh? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. He's MCP Pants on Aqua Teen. It wasn't obvious. Come on. All right.
My bad.
All right,
you know
all right.
more about MC Chris than me. I just like that song.
I don't. I just have a memory that lasts. Come on. All right. We're out of here. Tyler Nagata, let's fly away.
God, it's insane.
My backpacks got jets. Well, I'm Boba, or the Fat. Well, I bounty hunt for Java Hut to finance my vet. Well, I chill in deep space. A mask is over my face. Well, I deliver the prize, but I still narrow my eyes, cause my time I don't like two ways. Get down! I'm a question, rap inside Enigma. Get inside a slave one, find your home and signal. From Endor to Hoth, Ripley to Spock. I'll find what you want, but there's gonna be a cost. Say my name is Boba Fett, I know my shit is tight. Start acting right, yo, buzzing a carbonite. Got telescopic sight, flamethrowers on my wrist. You still don't get the gist, spike boots that made the kick. Targets that made the hit. You think I give a shit? Your mama is a bitch. I see you in the Sarlacc pit. You just flip my switch, integrity's been hit. You scratching on my itch. You know I shoot the gift. I got Fabinas and Katinas way to lick my lusty lips. So I'll let you get back inside your little spaceship. Give you a head start, cause I'm a sporting con. Consider the starting line and stinky smile hand side. Hope you have hyperdrive. Pray to stay alive. Don't try to slip me five, cause I never take a bribe. To the beat of a different drama. Baddest bunny hunter. Let no man put us under or else we be put under as in 6 feet. Got an imperial fleet backing me up. Gonna blow up any attempt to defeat. They got a Death Star. Got 4 payments on my car. Handed over to Hammerhead. At most I see bar. Used to carjack him. He's a bar back. Just go to show how you can get back on the right track. Guess for me that's not an option. Can't say that with more clarity. Me going legit would be like Jar Jar with speech therapy. My backpacks got jets. Well, I'm Boba, or the Fat. Well, I bounty hunt for Java Hut to finance my vet. Well, I chill in deep space. A mask is over my face. Well, I deliver the prize, but I still narrow my eyes, cause my time I don't like two ways. Get down.
Terrorists.